We are live on YouTube. Beto Duran, Coach Joel Diaz, and I'm looking at the comments right now. And Coach, mira, ya empezaron los. Joe Ash, Beto's probably cleaning his clubs because we're late. The reason that we're 30 seconds late, Coach, is because I got a message from our good friend, our researcher, Toño, who's in his garage right now training somebody, and he said, I'm all set up. So Toño has a guy in the garage, and he also has his cooler. He has us ready to go. So Toño is set. We are ready. But that's the reason I was late. I wanted to make sure to give Toño all kinds of love. Beto Duran, Coach Joel Diaz, who is in a hotel room. Coach, where are you right now?
I'm at the Courtyard here in downtown LA. We're here at LA Live. I have a fight Sunday, so I got here yesterday, and I'm back in the bubble, enjoying the bubble here. Actually, you know what? It's not that bad, Beto. Like I was telling you earlier, when I saw the weather forecast back in Indio, and it says that tomorrow, like 117, Saturday is 119, Sunday's 120. I'm like, hey, I'm going to ask these people, maybe they can keep me here for another week.
Yeah.
I'll go home.
Exactly. Everybody, it's going to be a heat wave coming this weekend. And hello to everybody who's going on. So you're wondering, like, what was everybody else at? Okay, so Roberto Diaz is actually traveling tomorrow morning, so he has stuff to do. He's like, Beto, I'm going to try to make it. I was like, Roberto, just don't even worry about it. Take care of what you got to take care of. Yeah. You're perfectly fine. Don't worry about it. Razo had things to do because I called him last minute, and El Gallo didn't come through today, but he has great excuses, good reasons for it. Razo yesterday laid to rest his good friend John. So Razo, you and the family and everybody else, rest in peace to your friend John. It was pretty cool though, Coach, that he was a big Dodger fan, so everybody wore a Dodger jersey with his name. It had number 57. So it was pretty cool to see what they did for him. So, and then we're like, okay, who do I get? What's going on? I asked Jessica Rosales, but she said she wants nothing to do with us. No, she didn't. I was just thinking, like, what can we do? And I'm like, you know what, Coach? It's our anniversary this weekend.
Yep.
5 months ago, we started this show. I kid you not. I went back and looked at it. And April 9th is when we did our first show where I got so drunk. You had a helmet on. We were just telling all kinds of stories. And that was the beginning of ThursDIAZ. I went back and looked at it, and Leti Arioli actually tagged it. And she's like, this is the first one. And I'm like, yeah. You know what? It was cold back then in April. Remember, it was like ugly. I had a sweater on. I had a jacket on. We had no idea what we were doing on. This is episode 17 of these. Yeah, we've done 17 of them. There was no ThursDIAZ back then. It was just, back then it was still called Living the Dream. And actually, it's called the Living the Dream podcast. So I was like, Coach, what are we going to do today? And I realized one of the cool things about this show is that we include the viewers. It's for them. And we've talked a couple times. We're like, do we do the show tonight? Maybe we don't. You know what? People look forward to it. And it's a distraction for them from whatever may be going on. And I'm like, you know what? We got to do it. So today, Coach, we're going to make this a Q&A show. This is your chance, you the viewer, that whatever you want to ask, you get it today. So there's not story. It's feel free. It's la plática, all that other good stuff. But before we get to that, let me start doing the where'd that go? Uh-oh. Okay, here we go. Let me do the commercials for this. There it is. All right, so the commercial. So as always, rate, review. If you want to listen on iTunes or Spotify, subscribe to Living the Dream podcast with Beto Duran. I put all my podcasts on there. That's just the Living the Dream podcast. So this past week, I did one with Roberto Andrade Franco. Coach, I want you to talk to this guy. You will love him. He's actually out of El Paso, and the guy was 28 years old, working construction in Phoenix. You talk about the sun. We had to wake up at 3 in the morning, work construction, take a break during the middle of the day, go back. It's like, been doing it for 10 years. He's like, you know what? I'm going to college. Went back to college, junior college. Somebody, one of the professors said, you're a good writer. You should get we're going to put you in the PhD program. He's like, oh, okay, what is that? Like extra credit? The guy didn't know that he could get a doctorate. And he's now writing about boxing. He's done a great job. I'm going to send you some of the stories he's done. And he wrote his PhD paper on Mexican boxing and the cultural impact of why Mexicans really love the sport of boxing. It was a really cool, great guy. I also did another podcast with Gustavo Arellano, a good friend of mine. Go check that out. So that's on the Living the Dream podcast, and I've included the podcast because now everybody knows how to use Zoom and Skype, and everybody's comfortable. So I'm doing the YouTube on it. So either Monday or Tuesdays, I'll be doing the other podcast where I'm all professional and not drinking on that one. It's like
Tequila?
not tequila. That one I might have a Kahlua, a little something like that. So that stuff like that. Go and listen to those podcasts, rate, review, and then as far as like the YouTube, make sure you subscribe. Give it dale a little, pícale like, and then we get to go there. Coach, before this though, last week people loved what you said about the way you play golf. How do you describe it?
I'm a Mexican. What's the guy's name? I forgot.
Chichi Rodriguez?
No.
Tiger Woods?
No. No, what's his name? Happy Gilmore.
Oh, the Mexican Happy Gilmore. But you said you play golf a certain way.
Well, look, when I go play golf, I'm just very basic. When I started playing golf with Antonio years ago, Antonio would take me. Actually, we were so naive about it. Antonio was a world champion, and he was invited to play golf. And he would always tell me, "Hey, you want to go with me? Okay, I'll go with you." And I'm telling you, I didn't even know what golf was. The game itself, just being there. And then he would tell me, "Hey, you want to be my caddy?" Like, you caddy, what is that? And then he had me carrying his bag away.
Oh,
I go, soy tu burro, I guess, And okay. So then later on, he was like, "I'm going to teach you." And he started teaching me, but he would tell me, "Try this one, try that one." And at one point, I just got really comfortable with a 7-iron. And you tell me where you want the ball, and I'll put it right there with a 7-iron. And I play basically the whole game with a 7-iron, except putting. When I'm on the green. But other than that, I use a 7 for everything.
And you said you call it gangster golf. Go up there.
Gangster golf. I play gangster golf. Yeah. I play gangster golf. I don't care. I don't even aim. I just swing flat, and there goes the ball.
And you said you put it on the palito and let's just go. I was actually I'm a friend.
I put the ball on the palito and I just whack it once, and that's it. I'm not wasting my time over here trying to aim or not. I look at those guys and I go, they annoy me because they're like, they try one time and they swing another time. And I'm like, come on, just swing. As soon as I bend over and I put the ball on the palito, I just take a step back and whack, mocos, vámonos.
Oh man, the reason I'm asking that is because I was at my friend Carlos De La Torre's house over the weekend, and I walk into his house, and he's like, "Beto," I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Coach only puts it in the palito and boom, gangster golf."
Y mocos, vámonos.
He didn't even say hello. He didn't even say how you doing, what's going on. And he was just laughing about this. He's like, "That's just a great story." He's like, "I need you to have him say it again." He goes, "If you can have him say palito golf every single week, I would be happy for you." So he said it.
Yeah, and sometimes, and honestly, and I see these guys, they're using the palito for, different palito. I take my, with that palito, I start and I finish. Boom, put the ball, y vámonos. And if I find another one, I'll pick it up, even if it's broken in half.
Oh, man. That's
called gangster golf.
That is good. Gangster golf. All right. So if you guys want check out Coach on Sunday, that'll be on Fox at 4 o'clock on Sunday. You can hear me, Doug Fisher, and Jessica Rosales will be on the Thompson Boxing Facebook and YouTube. 3 fights coming your way. The good one is the main event. Henry Ramirez's guy, Louis Lopez, takes on Manny Robles' guy, Saul Bustos, El Avatar. So that's going to be a good scrap, the main event. And then there'll be 3 of them live on Facebook. Alex Capanova said that because it's going to be over 110 degrees in the warehouse, that we're allowed to wear a polo and shorts. Like, Mr. Thompson is always suited and booted. We are allowed to wear shorts, so it's a big event for you. Karina wants to know what's on my shirt. It's Bob from La Bamba. That art contest, I won it. So there you go.
$100.
Yeah, $100. There you go. All right, before we get to the questions, and look, I'm going to go through all these questions. Make sure that they're good ones. Like none of
It's okay, Beto.
No.
Give the people the opportunity to ask whatever question.
Obviously.
Hey,
pero
politely we'll answer them, in a polite way.
No, you'll answer them politely. I'm the one that sees them, so I'm gonna make sure like they're good ones. None of these they're good ones. None of these like no, good ones.
If they're not good, just skip them.
Believe me, I am. Before that, Coach, I showed you this one. Where is it at? The picture. The Oscar Valdez got a horse sent to him by Canelo Alvarez. Muchas gracias a Canelo, un regalo. What kind of horse is that you said?
The Frisian.
A Frisian?
Yeah, Frisian, yeah.
Wow.
Those horses are very beautiful horses. They're show horses. They're very beautiful, expensive, and basically give them a great gift, but now to keep up with that horse, es como darte un hijo, darte una mujer, o manténla, cabrón, ahí te va, it's a horse. I mean, especially that kind of horse, you gotta maintain and always keep them right, and it's expensive. It's expensive to keep the upkeep of a horse.
I don't even want to know. And I googled how much they cost. Wow, it can do all kinds of stuff. All right, before we get going to the questions, of course, and I talked to Oscar Valdez, and he's like, "Hey, I'll come on the show." He actually saw the tweets about it. And I was like, asked him, "Is it okay if I post a picture?" He's like, "Yeah, go for it." Your shot. Get your drinks out. Let's go. Coach is in the bubble. He's ready. You're at home. Are you ready? Muy fino, muy fino.
Well, look, my wife said, "Hey, I know you're gonna do your show, so before you leave, boom, she stashed one of these." She goes, "Hey," But the thing is, they don't have no glasses here, so we're gonna have to improvise with this plastic cups. It's okay though.
It's all right. And today, my goal is to
finish the bottle.
Yes,
For real?
Yes.
Let me see how much you have. Are you gonna finish it today?
All right.
It's gonna be a good show. That's a lot.
Somebody take a picture of this.
That's a lot.
And it's this is right here. That's not a lot. Okay.
Beto, that's a lot of tequila.
No, Coach.
Beto, I'm telling you.
Is it a lot?
Okay. Okay.
No.
You already said you're gonna finish it.
No,
okay.
I didn't say I'm
you're gonna finish it.
No.
You already opened your mouth. Vamos pues.
Mocos. Right? No, it's
Hey, on a bottle like this, that's if I'm not mistaken, that's like a 3 liter right there.
Yes, a 3 liter.
So, okay, right there, that's like a half a liter right there.
But I'm gonna mix it with. I'm not gonna take all shots. I'm gonna mix it with tequila.
Okay, as long as you.
Wait. I'm gonna mix it with tequila. I'm gonna mix it with squirt.
Suerte, matador.
No, the thing is, the goal is to finish it. I don't think I'm going to, but that's the goal.
Oh, okay. No, I said if you finish it, that's a lot of tequila for.
If I finish it, will you buy me a horse?
What kind of horse?
Una yaquecita.
Claro que sí. Hay un caballito de palo que venden en Mexicali.
This is gonna be.
No. You want one? I'll give you one. I have some at the ranch. Te lo llevas para que veas como una semana me lo vas a mandar para atrás.
Well, Coach, the first time I was with you, I got loaded. This time it's our anniversary, 5-month anniversary. Loaded.
Let's get loaded again.
Yeah, let's get loaded. Cheers, everybody. I got a Chicago Cubs shot glass because that's what I found out. Ay, mi yaquecita. Ay, mi yaquecita. Oh, that's going to be a good one. Let me make that other shot. Woo. That's a good bottle right there. That's a good one. And since there's no boxing on my schedule anytime soon, I mean, we're not just keep on going. All right, everybody. All right. I think we have enough people. We have a lot of people watching us now. I'm going to start making the drinks. All right, here we go. I just saw the comments right now. Si se puede. Finish it. Daniel Ochoa. Everybody else. Before though. Oh, Coach, I wanted to read you this one. This message came from, my goodness, Ruben Polanco, who watches the show. He's a fancy golfer. He said, I love watching ThursDIAZ. He's a fancy Mexican. He drinks wine. He's in Paso Robles, all that other good stuff. I love watching the show. I bought Coach's shirt after you guys talked about what he does for the community and it helps out. I bought it ASAP. Tell him that I love the show and a man like him is somebody that I admire. Anything I can do to help him out. Also, Razo, I used to be just like him. I used to sneak in just like Razo. How come I didn't end up being a matchmaker? Damn it. And Razo's are like a little brother. We can mess with him, but nobody else can because we're going to take care of Razo. We love him, love the community that you have built. Roberto has so many stories, reminds me of my childhood. Keep on doing it. I appreciate what you guys do every single Thursday. Viva ThursDIAZ. Ruben Polanco will appreciate you there. Never met him, just a guy who sent me messages on Instagram so we can get going. All right, here we go. Oh, my God. See, I haven't even looked at the comments
Ruben
yet.
Polanco, man, thank you very much for the support. We appreciate it. Paso Robles is a great place, wine country. I have family over there in Santa Maria, and every time I go out there, it's just wine country. Paso Robles,
No, he doesn't live there. He's just there visiting.
Okay.
That's how fancy he is. That's
wow.
We got fancy viewers, Coach. We got fancy viewers right here. All right, so there you go. Okay, we can get going. All right, everybody's been leaving comments about questions. I haven't seen it, so just keep on going with your questions right now. Paul Banky, former world champion. We'll start off with you, Paul. I talked to your coach the other day, Valenzuela. Loma versus Lopez. Who do you got?
I got Lomachenko. I know I'm not taking anything from Teofimo Lopez. He's strong. He's fast. He's young. But I think that he still doesn't have the experience at that level. And once Loma figures him out in 3-4 rounds, I think he's going to break him. And I don't think he'll go the distance.
Really?
No, I don't think it'll go the distance because Lomachenko's very, very smart. Teofimo is smart as well, but styles make fights, and stylistically, I think that Lomachenko, his ability, his footwork, is gonna break Teofimo. I'm gonna give him at least 3-4 rounds. By the 5th round, I think Loma's gonna start taking over the fight, and sometimes the pressure and his angles, his footwork is gonna frustrate Teofimo.
Now, Coach, let me follow up with that. Teofimo, I like him. I like his attitude. I like the fact that he's always called out the big names and gone after them. This could be, Canelo Mayweather, where he's a little too green, but he's going to step up for it. For me, in my opinion, Teofimo is in a win-win here. If he beats Loma, wow. If he loses and looks good, good for him. But I like his attitude. What do you like about Teofimo just in general?
His confidence. He has a lot of confidence. A fighter like Teofimo with such confidence, it's a great fighter. It's a great athlete. Teofimo Lopez is right now in the era of boxing. He is one of the most attractive fighters in the sport. And honestly, in the personal level, business wise, from the beginning when they started talking about that fight, I started talking about it and I gave my opinion as far as they should have waited a little more. Different reasons, but I mean, I just think it's the right moment because we're in a pandemic. This coronavirus affected a lot of people, but honestly, Teofimo Lopez was barely starting to get known, started to make noise after his last fights. He knocked out a fighter that I used to train before. I wasn't training him at the time. Was Diego Magdaleno. I mean,
oh yeah, bad.
And then his last fight, the great performance with that knockout as well. But I just think that business-wise, this fight could have generated a lot more if they would have waited a little more and advertised Teofimo more. Give the people out there, let the people know who Teofimo Lopez is. I mean, I don't think there's enough people around the boxing world that knows who Teofimo Lopez is. And there was times in which sometimes you ask a random person, do you know boxing? Yes. And you give them a name and they're like, no, I never heard of him. But you give them Canelo Alvarez and everybody knows Canelo Alvarez. Everybody knows Mayweather. Everybody knows Pacquiao. But sometimes you need that exposure. I just think it's Teofimo Lopez. I mean, a lot of people don't know who Lomachenko is either.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's
a lot of people don't know who Lomachenko is. And I've always said it. Honestly, I can tell you one thing. The only fight that I've seen from Lomachenko was the one with Linares. But it was because I wanted to see what Linares could do against Lomachenko. Lomachenko is such a great boxer, great technician, great footwork. I mean, he's so good, honestly. And I tell you that I get bored watching a fight. I get bored because he's so technical. He's so technical that, he's like, okay, and he's a great fighter. He's one of the best pound for pound. But, I mean, Teofimo Lopez and Lomachenko, business-wise, they should have waited a little more Teofimo Lopez, obviously a Latino fighter that is moving up in the sport of boxing, generating a lot of attention. Should have waited a little more so that more fans can know who he is, and it would have generated a lot more.
I get what you're saying. On the business side, I completely...
On the business side,
I get what you're saying from the business side. This one comes from Jose. Coach, how good is Elnor Abduraimov?
Elnor Abduraimov?
Okay, who is he, first of all?
Elnor Abduraimov is a kid from Uzbekistan that we started training a while back. He's a kid that is very, very strong. Very, very strong. He's a 130-pounder. An amazing boxer with a lot of power. He actually qualified for the Olympics. He's part of the Olympic team for Uzbekistan. He just arrived last week here in Indio, and he's one of the 130-pounders that. I mean, he has if I'm not mistaken, like 4 pro fights. He's 4-0, 4 knockouts, or 5. I'm not sure, but that kid is very, very powerful. In 130 pounds, I mean, he is a poison for anybody in that division. Honestly,
wow.
with only 4 or 5 fights that he has.
One of those guys.
But he has to wait. He has to wait because he's gonna represent his country in the Olympics.
Oh, he's gonna be one of those guys.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's see here. Let me find some other questions. This one comes from our good friend Mando. Coach, what are some of the routines that your fighters like and don't like?
Well, it depends. It depends what routines they like and what they don't like. It depends on the fighters as well. There's boxers that like the work. They like the challenge. And there are some that are lazy. There's lazier ones that, anything. They don't like maybe 50% of the routines we do. I mean, we work different routines, different workouts every day. We don't repeat the same thing every day. We switch it up so that the fighters, can have a motivation. Because if you repeat the same thing every day, they get bored. So you have to switch it up. You gotta switch it up, make some changes. There's fighters that honestly they hate running the mountain. I mean, once we tell them, hey, we're gonna go run up to Palm Springs to the tramway, you can tell in their faces they're like, oh man, you can tell they don't like it. When we do the sand dunes, you can tell right away that they don't like it because it's heavy, and the routines there are tough. In the gym, some fighters don't like to jump rope. Some fighters, they just don't. There's even fighters that don't like to even punch a bag. They're like, hey, can we do mitts instead? But every fighter is different. There's fighters that, I mean, they just like to just go straight to sparring. James Toney, back in the days, I remember James Toney, he would walk into the gym, and he'd rather spar 25 rounds, 30 rounds, than hit a bag. So hey, line them up. Okay, you got 1, 2, 3, 4 guys, and I'll spar 20 rounds instead of hitting a punch in a bag. Everybody's different. I mean, I've seen a lot of styles. I mean, I would watch Angel Manfredi. You remember Angel Manfredi? Mm-hmm. He trained back in India at one point. He will go in the ring, and he will stay with his trainer, and just like this. I mean, you're not talking. I mean, you're not punching. He would just be tapping, and he will be there for an hour, and that was his training, and he would perform well.
That was it, huh?
Yeah, everybody, has their own ways, and that's why I respect every trainer around the world. I mean, sometimes people talk bad about trainers. Oh, that guy don't know how to train, but they got a good fighter. But whatever method they're using, it works for them. You not because he doesn't train the way I train doesn't mean he's not a good trainer. He has his own method, and his method works for him. And but obviously, a lot of fighters dislike certain things in the gym.
Yeah. This one comes from Arturo Alvarado. Coach, ¿con qué canción le gustaba salir cuando peleaba? What song did you like to walk out to?
I used to, like every Mexican, we like the mariachi. I used to like the song Como México No Hay Dos. That was like the only song that as soon as it started playing, I would feel it like, oh man, let's go.
Okay.
And that's the motivation that a lot of fighters like. That's why, as a trainer, you gotta respect the fighter's opinion or choice or whatever they like. If a fighter tells you, I want this song, hey, give it to him. Why? Because that's the song that sparks him up. I mean, I still remember being in the dressing room warming up, and as soon as they say, "Hey, let's go, you ready?" and walking out of the dressing room, and they start playing that song "Como Mexico No Hay Dos," man, it's like you feel that adrenaline in you, like you just want to be in the ring already. Antonio, Antonio had his song as well, and same thing. You play that song walking out of the dressing room, and you could tell Antonio like, oh, he's desperate to get in there and fight.
Woo-wee. Yeah, I just got this one from Alan Zamora, who is sending us a picture. He's drinking Screwball whiskey on the rocks. Saludos, Alan Zamora. Man.
Alan Zamora is a good friend. He's a good friend for me. Brian Coachella, all his family, Tutu, Robert. He's actually my son's friends as well. They grew up with my son.
And Ruben Palaco says, wow, that shout out. Thank you. See, we're shouting you guys out right now. Don't worry about it. All right. This one comes our good friend Caesar, the Green Eyed Bandit. 2-part question, Coach. Did you ever go clubbing at Los Arcos in Coachella?
Of course. Actually, look.
Hold on, real quick. And then the second part is, did you see Chalino live?
Yes, of course.
Wow.
We lived in the era of Chalino. Actually, Los Arcos is right on the main street, right along the main street. And you cross the street, and then there's 1, 2, 3 streets, and that's where my parents live. So we would literally walk from, if we wanted to, we would walk from my mom's house, where we live, to Los Arcos. Actually, Los Arcos was a place back then when the Chalino era, it had like an entrance. And, you drive your car and just cruise around and go in circles over and over, watching the girls, watching your friends, and trying to pick a fight. But of course, Los Arcos was
pick a fight.
Yeah, Los Arcos was very, very popular, very famous back in the day. That was a spot, and it was, really close from where we live.
What was it like seeing Chalino? That was before he was Chalino, right?
No. That was when Chalino was hitting. I happened to go to a few of his concerts. El Parral in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
El Parral in Los Angeles. There was some clubs where he was. La Copacabana. There was another place in Indio también, in Coachella. But Los Arcos that's where, he had the problem, and he got famous because of that. But of course, we lived in that era of Chalino. Who doesn't like if you're Mexican and, you lived in those days, you still listen to Chalino nowadays.
Yeah.
I got Chalino in my truck every day. It's good music.
Even me, the fancy Mexican, cuando vienen las nieves de enero, I'm all like, all of a sudden, right? There you go. Because that was the first guy, because, I was younger. I think I was like junior high or something. But I'm like, why is that guy wearing a silk shirt? How come he doesn't put his hat on the right way? Then, as I got to know a little bit, I was like, oh, that's why. Toño Diaz, Los Arcos then became El Rodeo. So, it's not just boxing questions. If you guys want to know Chisme questions, what's going on? Saludo a Fino Boxing checking in right now. Today, we don't have a topic. It's our 5-month anniversary, Fino. So, what we're doing is just doing a Q&A. So, get your questions. Keep on coming. Boxing questions. There was another one that came in right now and said, oh, here it is from Jose. I think Jose Epe Chepe. I don't know how to say your name, but he's got the Raiders logo. Do all the European fighters in your camp know what a legend Toño was?
They do. Honestly, a lot of and it's funny because sometimes they all live together, right? They have a house where they all live in there, and sometimes the fights they watch, because today I'm in LA for a fight. I have one of the guys from Crimea. Actually, I just found out today he was born in Uzbekistan. He lived in Crimea, and he represented Turkey in the Olympics.
Wait, he lived in where?
In Crimea, Russia. Crimea. Yeah.
Crimea.
Man. So I'm like, I always thought, because most of the fighters that I got, they're from Uzbekistan.
Yeah.
And I know there's one Russian. His name is Sergey Lukovich. He's Russian, and the rest are from Uzbekistan and Dagestan and Kazakhstan. But this guy, I always see, you from Crimea. Okay, Crimea. All right. So today in the fighter meeting, he caught me off guard because they're asking, okay, so you are from Crimea? He says, no, I was actually born in Uzbekistan. I live in Crimea, and I represented the Turkey Olympics.
Oh, que la chin.
So like, and now you're living in India. I go, so where you from? I started making fun of him today. He goes, so, okay, now tell me the truth. Where are you from? He goes, Coach, born Uzbekistan, live in Crimea. Okay, now I know. So when people ask me, I at least know. I answer the questions because sometimes they ask me, hey, where is he from? I'm like, oh, he's from Uzbekistan. And then later on, I'm like, no, Coach, I'm not from Uzbekistan. So now I know. That's why I was going over it with the manager today. I said, okay, so who's from Russia? Oh, this guy. So who's from Uzbekistan? This guy. Who's from Dakistan? That guy. So now I got my things together. I put the puzzle together today.
Well, yeah, the thing is, because they're really nice. They're not going to say anything, but at the same time, you don't want to offend them a little bit. It's like, hey, and then a lot of the times those countries were going to war, so it's like, oh, that's the Salvadorian. Like, no. Like, we Puerto Rican. Like, no, I'm Mexican food. Like, that kind of stuff. They won't say anything, but they'll remember it. But so they know Toño's a legend?
Oh, yeah. Like, at the camp house, sometimes they post videos watching Antonio's fights.
Really?
Like going back to what I was telling you about this guy, they asked him today, do you watch your opponent? And he says, no, I let my coach do it. I trust my coach. My coach, he says, I don't even know who I'm fighting. I never seen him, never seen his face. I don't know who he is.
What?
Never even cared to look who he is. Nothing. He goes, I believe in my coach. My coach does his homework. He puts the plan together. And all I do is I'm his robot in the ring. I do what he tells me.
I'm his robot in the ring. That's a great line. I wish somebody would tell me that in the fighting meetings. I'd use it. Yeah. Our good friend Paulus in Texas. Coach, how do you cook rattlesnakes? I never thought I would ask that kind of a question on the show, but here we go.
What a coincidence. I'm going to ask you a question right now. We have a friend. Actually, he's the guy. His name is Frank. Frank brings water to the gym every day because he works for a pest control company. And at his company, they have an ice machine and a water purifier. So he brings us filtered water, filtered ice in big 5-gallon jugs, right, for the boxers every day. So he always does was, he'll go to the houses and do pest control, roaches, whatever. Recently, they called him and they said, hey, there's a couple rattlesnakes in a house. He goes, I'll go. Every time you get a rattlesnake call, hand it to me. So yesterday, when I arrived here at the hotel, he called me and said, hey, Coach, I got two rattlesnakes. No, that was the day before. He goes, Antonio tells me, hey, Frank says he's got 2 rattlesnakes, okay? And he has them alive. They're alive, and he has them with him. I go, okay, what do you want me to do? He wants to come over here so he could teach him how to skin them, how to fix them. I go, okay, let me know. So he got stuck and it didn't happen. So then he called me and he tells me, hey, Coach, Antonio told me that the process of taking care of a snake was to skin it and wait 2 weeks and then gut it. And then I go, no, Antonio gave you the wrong information. And then I call Antonio and I go, no, I didn't tell him that. So I sort of walk him through the process of taking care of a snake. And he took care of 2 snakes the day before yesterday. Earlier today, he texted me, he says, hey, Coach, I got another snake. Do you want it? I go, I'm out of town. I go, but let me tell you how you're going to take care of it. All I want is just the skin. And I told him how to do the skin. But he didn't know a certain thing, a couple of things that he needed to know. I told him, watch. When you kill a snake, make sure that the snake is not mad. Because if she's mad, she spreads the venom through the body and you don't want to eat that. So if she's mad, you got to let her relax. And he tells me, well, every time I get close to him, the rattle's going 100 miles an hour. I said, don't get close to him. Let him relax because they're letting you know not to come into their territory. When the rattle starts doing that, I mean, you're invading their space.
Wow.
And second of all, just let her rest, let her calm. And when you see that she's okay, and then you just, take care of her, kill her or whatever. And when you remove the skin, I told him how to do it and save the rattle. So he goes, okay, Coach, thank you. So then I also told him, I go, you know what, when you remove the head, make sure that head goes into the trash away from everybody because a snake will not die automatically. Even if she doesn't have the head, she'll still be alive for 24 hours. She can still...
Without the head?
Without the head. I said,
what?
I mean, if you have a head, if you cut the head off the snake and you leave it around and somebody gets a hold of it, the snake can still, it has venom in there, so don't leave it around. So he goes, Coach, I would like to eat it. I go, okay, well, this is how you do it. Put it in the oven So probably right now, he has a snake in the oven to eat tonight.
No way. That's interesting right there.
This happened today. I sort of like gave him a little tutorial of how to take care of a snake today.
Oh man, that's interesting. Eddie Aguilera boxing champions. Eddie, what's happening? Actually, Eddie, I'll hit you up tomorrow. I'm gonna go to Craft Beer Kings after I play golf with Joel Diaz Jr. and Razo. We're playing in Monterey Park in the morning. Yeah, I'm gonna go see your son tomorrow. I'll tell him you said hi. I'll show him a picture of you. That way he knows what you look like.
Because I haven't seen him in a while. Let him know that I'm still here.
Yeah. I'm gonna send him a link to this. Maybe he can watch the show one day. This one comes for me. Wow, I actually got a question. Beto, the first time you had pajaretes, did you mess up your stomach? Nope. I'm a champ. You might think I'm a little fancy fresa Mexican food, but no. Se hace, as Gustavo Adriano would say. I actually had 2 pajaretes. Razo and his... two good ones. Full ones,
loaded, too. Because I made them.
Yeah, they were. And I actually... was it... Because we were drinking the night before. We went to your ranch. Me, Razo, Bernardo Suna. I got there. You gave it to me, Coach. I was like, this is good. Boom, had it. I asked for seconds. Razo was like, I don't know. But
you know why it was good? Because that morning it was fresh.
Yes.
It was a fresh morning.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, summertime, pajaretes, like, when it's too hot, I mean, you have to be at the ranch at least at 5 in the morning to enjoy it. Because once it hits 6:30, 7 o'clock and it starts getting hot, I mean, you'll have a good pajarete, but it's not like when it's cold, you know?
Oh, yeah.
When it's cold, you got your jacket, your thick jacket on, and then you have a pajarete quemado. Oh, man, that's like...
Oh, I had it. It was like creme brulee.
Exactly.
Your son is watching. He says, tell my dad I say hello.
Oh, hey, what's up, my son? How are you?
How you doing? Alan Zamora. Razo's not here today. He has some family things to take care of. But Razo, he did complain, saying his stomach was hurting him after that time, you know. He didn't feel great. He didn't feel good. I felt like a champ. I was ready to go. I had a great broadcast. My makeup was on point that night. I was all kinds of good. We actually used the pictures of Bernardo Osuna and us at the ranch. And Bernie's from Sonora. He knows how to ride the horses. He did all kinds of good stuff. So Bernardo Osuna is actually watching us right now. He's in the bubble, the top ranked bubble in Las Vegas. So we'll see Bernie. He just got done with his COVID test right now. Coach, how many COVID tests have you taken?
I lost count already.
Yeah, I am on 7.
Usually, watch, before the fight, the last fight I was here, we were getting tested every Tuesday and Friday. And then in between, I was at the Thompson show, and then I was to Vegas, and then when I was in Vegas, I did two tests. And then between the last event I had and now, we were getting tested twice a week.
Jeez.
As soon as we came in here yesterday, I mean, as soon as you pull into the hotel, you leave your bags, they take you to the back, boom. I mean, they already got my safe combination. They already got my credit card, my PIN number, and everything, man. Because I mean, they get that swab and they shove it
all the way back. Yeah, I've done 7. It'll be 8 this weekend. So.
I've probably gone over 30.
Yeah, but it's what you got to do. Yeah. Where's this question right now? Oh, Armando Murillo said, Coach, is there a difference in the way that you wrap 8-ounce gloves and 10-ounce gloves? Now, what's the difference between 8-ounce and 10-ounce? I think it's 147 is the cutoff, correct?
Yeah, it's 147. It's over 47 is 10 ounce.
Do you wrap them different?
Oh, the same.
Same?
It's the same, yeah. I mean, sometimes it varies on the hands. I mean, some fighters, it depends on the fighters. You base the hand wrap on the fighters. There's fighters that have hand problems, so you have to protect a little more with a little more padding. There's fighters that never had problems and they don't like too much padding because they want to be able to hurt you. But it's all based on the fighter. Actually, the difference on the size of the gloves. Honestly, has nothing to do with how you wrap.
Okay.
It doesn't.
Coach,
that answers your question.
Let me ask you this. I'm asked this one right here. For fighters that use different gloves, what would you use? Like, I know Cleto, there's Winning, there's Everlast.
Preferences on gloves is based on like going back again. There's fighters that try to use fighters to protect their hands, and there's fighters that son malos, like, hey, you know what? I want to hurt this guy. I don't want too much padding on my gloves. I mean, if you're the old school style fighter, like Antonio Diaz and Julio Diaz, my brothers, I mean, those guys never have problems, and they never complain about hands or nothing. Those guys, I mean, that's why nowadays I see a lot of fighters always complain about hands. Oh, my hands hurt or this. I mean, honestly, I just ignore it and give them whatever they want, because if they don't get what they want, something goes wrong, they blame you. But back then, sometimes you didn't even use hand wraps. I mean, there's fighters that hit really hard, and they're like, "Oh, I want the gloves that that are gonna hurt my opponent as soon as I hit them." So they go with Cleto Reyes, because Cleto Reyes is the puncher's glove. If you want to protect your hands and you want to have a little more defense to protect yourself, and then you start going into with the Grants, with the Winnings, the Everlast MX are similar to the Cleto Reyes, but it's based on what you want. A lot of fighters, they're like, "Oh man, I hurt my hand," or "I'm gonna hurt my hand." There's fighters that aim a lot to the head, and the head on the forehead or whatever, the hardest parts. They try to use the gloves to protect themselves. But like I said, there's fighters that use the gloves to do damage. Lucas Matisse, Ruslan Provodnikov, that I've known, those guys, they've always used the gloves to do damage on their opponent. They don't care about themselves. They just want to hurt the opponent. And
Jeez.
some fighters don't think about that. They think about protecting themselves.
Jeez, good questions coming in today, people. Eddie Aguilera is going to say, Coach, what is the name of the mariscos place that had the best Mexicali michelada? And what's the difference between a child and a michelada? I have no idea what he's talking about. Do you?
A child and a michelada?
He said the mariscos place that had the best Mexicali michelada. See, Eddie's trying to bring up old stuff. I don't know what Eddie's talking about. Eddie must be drinking already.
Depends. In Coachella, because in Coachella...
No, he said in Mexicali.
In Mexicali, before, there was a place called El Godoy's. El Godoy's, it was a very nice place for mariscos. It was basically mariscos from Sinaloa. I remember you used to pull up you pull up, and they had valet parking outside the restaurant. And you get off your car, and the guy that is waiting for you opens the door, and he gives you either a beer, cold beer, before you even walk in the restaurant, or a shot of tequila, or a clamato preparado.
Ay.
And those guys, I mean, it's all mariscos. To me, that was some of the best. To me, when I go to Mexicali, you don't go wrong if you go to Los Arcos. Los Arcos in Mexicali is my place where I've been going there for years. Every time I cross the border, I go straight to Los Arcos.
Is that where we ate? That's where I saw you with Toño?
I think so.
You were with your family, and me and Toño showed up.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
That place was good right there. All right. Venom Sound says, better career, Chavez or De La Hoya?
Well, they went to different paths. I mean, obviously, De La Hoya had a career because he was an Olympian. He was a gold medal champion. If you really look at it, he had a better amateur career. He had the Olympic exposure. But Chavez had the longer career because he started at a real young age and started in Mexico, and a lot more fights. I mean, twice as much as Oscar. So it's two different athletes, two different fighters, two different careers with different significance. I mean, Oscar was here, grew up in LA, started as a really young age, was one of the best amateur fighters of that era, became an Olympian, got a gold medal in the Olympics, and then became one of the best fighters in the pros. And that's towards the end of Julio Cesar Chavez's career. Julio Cesar Chavez was a great fighter, one of the best that nobody will ever forget. And he formed his career with a tremendous amount of fights, and he fought a lot of great fighters, a lot of great champions.
Here we go. Mando, what's the worst excuse a fighter is giving you for not going to the gym? Oh, this will be good.
So, I mean, fighters, and you can tell right away. You can tell right away when fighters don't come to the gym because, they're not feeling well. Or, fighters coming to the gym and training, obviously you go to training. You go through a hard workout every day. And some fighters, based on their discipline, they're like, oh, you know what? I don't want to go today. And they'll call you and they're like, hey, coach, I couldn't sleep last night. I couldn't sleep last night. I was up all night. That's one of the worst. That's the most common one.
Wow.
The most common excuse, and I tell you right now, and it's very
No.
common. It's like, oh, I couldn't sleep all night. I was up all night. I couldn't sleep. I don't know why. I fell asleep like at 5 in the morning.
No.
That's the most common excuse that I get from fighters. I get it all the time, and like I've had fighters who say, "Oh, coach, I think I have insomnia. I can't sleep.
Oh, come on.
I'm not gonna go to the gym today." All right.
No.
You know? That's the most common one. The most common one is that they don't sleep. They don't sleep at night. Oh, but they're on social media. They're on social media all night.
I'll tell the story right now. So the other day, speaking of young fighters on social media, what's going on? So I'm scared, I'm going to take a shot because I'm going to put this kid on blast right now.
Go for it.
Can't let you. Joel Diaz Jr., we're playing at Monterey Park tomorrow at 9 a.m. Raza was supposed to tell you. You're the fourth, so make sure you show up. Oh, my
Beto,
Mande.
recently I started going to Mexicali, and Diego de la Hoya took me to a restaurant. It's called La Corriente restaurant. It's really good. Te lo recomiendo. When you go to Mexicali, go to La Corriente restaurant.
If I go to Mexicali, I'm going with you. I'm not going to go by myself. There's no need for me to cross any border.
¿Tú y yo solos?
Vamos.
We'll get in trouble.
Hopefully. It's been a while.
You're getting in trouble today.
It's been a while.
Oh, yeah, you're going to finish that bottle today.
I'm trying to. I want to put on my helmet later.
Hey, go ahead. You're not going to play golf tomorrow.
No, I'm going to play because I'm going to have a pajarete como campeón. And let's
okay.
go. Let's go. Right here, Joe Ash. If Junior can't make it, everybody wants to play golf with us. Don't worry about it. What was I going to say? Oh, I was going to put this kid on blast. So, I'm supposed to help out this kid, right? A friend of his asked me, or no, his Theo asked me, he's like, hey, this kid wants to be a sports reporter. Can you help him out? I'm like, yeah, you know what? I will give anybody who wants to get into this business advice. No problem. Here's my number. Call me. And if you're Latino who wants to do it, even better. So I was like, have him call me Monday. Because Monday I was free. I had plenty of time. No problem. No llama. Like, all right, whatever. He's a college senior. He's going to be a senior. He wants to be a sports reporter. Blah, blah, blah. No problem. I went. So he told me his name. And I was like, all right. So his nephew's name. I went. I looked up his nephew's Instagram. All this other stuff. I do my research. Blah, 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 blah. Calls me yesterday. And he's like, hey, Mr. Duran. I'm like, yeah, what's up? He's like, it's Fulano. I'm like, oh, cool. He's like, yeah, I'm like, how can I help you? He's like, oh, my uncle said that you wanted to help me. I was like, oh, I do. I want to help you. I got, like, I'm
He was nervous.
Whatever.
He was nervous, Beto.
Okay. So, I was like, so how can I help you? He's like, well, my uncle said you work in sports. I'm like, yeah, I do. He's like, so what do you do? And I was like, oh, shit. Like, I mean, I have an ego, but not when it comes to that kind of stuff for work, I'm like, okay, hold up. What did your uncle tell you? He's like, oh, my uncle said that you'd be a good guy to talk to. I guess you like sports. I'm like, oh. I was like, so what do you want to do? He's like, well, I'm going to go work at ESPN one day. I want to be this, and that. He's telling me everything he wants to do. And I was like, yeah. He's like, so you have like advice or stuff? Or like, what is it that you do? I'm like, okay, Ira Juanito. That's not his name. But I was like, if you really want to be into this business, you should find out who is doing the job that you want to do. Like you, right. Coach, you want to be a trainer? You find the trainers. Let's get going. So he's like, well, yeah, I want to work at ESPN. I want to work in radio maybe one day. I'm like, cool. I was like, and he was pissing me off, Coach. I was like, you know what? I was like, here.
It's annoying you.
Yeah, and I'm like, and he's like, so what is it that you can help me with? I was like, all right, look, here's the deal. My name is Beto Duran. I'm a sports reporter. I've been in this business for 20 years. I worked at ESPN Radio for 10 years. I used to go to every single game. I've been on SportsCenter, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, whoa, you've done all of that? I'm like,
wow. now.
And I'm like, okay, cool. You know what? I'm like, you know what? Okay, I could just tell that kid is not gonna make it in my business because he doesn't know who's doing the job. And I was like, you know, Bernardo Suna. He's like, yeah, I heard of him. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And he's like, yeah, I just want to be on TV. I was like, well, have you interned anywhere? He's like, no. Do you need that? I'm like, fuck, this kid. You know what? Just fuck it. He's gonna be the one who graduates and goes and gets it. So my point was, always know who you're dealing with, who you're talking with. And it wasn't for me ego-wise. And I gave him the lecture. I'm like, look, what if I called you and said, hey, you're going to call me, and what if I was a millionaire and said, hey, answer 3 questions about me, and I'll give you $1 million. Like, whoever you talk to, always have an idea who you're talking to. Google, you can figure it out. So the kid, the whole point of my cabrones about it was, the kid tells me, he's like, yeah, I was really busy the last 2 days. And I was like, really? I was like, so you were at the beach on Tuesday, and then on Monday, you were at a drive-in with your friends. He said, how do you know that? I was like, your Instagram told me. I was like, so I guess you weren't that busy, right? I was like, and that goes back to you, Coach, where you're not that busy because your social media tells you everything is going on. How bad do you want this? Yeah. Like, if you're telling me I have insomnia, it's because you didn't work that hard that day.
Yeah. Of course. Right? You got to be tired to go home and sleep, right?
Yeah, you got to be tired to sleep.
Of course. It's like when I tell my fighters, this is what happens. A lot of fighters, for example, it's midday, the day we do mitts. You know, we do mitts with everybody, okay? And, hey, Coach, what time tomorrow? At your time? Oh, okay. No changes. No. Show up at your time. Why they call me? Because they already have plans, right? Okay. So we're training. Everybody's there at that time except that person that called.
Oh.
So then when he walks in, I tell Antonio, hey, he's not here at the time. He's already 30 minutes late. He's an hour late. And then he shows up. And what wasn't happening? Hey, leave him on his own. Why? Because his time is over. He wasn't here when we told him that was the time we were going to work with him. So if he's not here at his time, he's on his own. Ooh. He already lost the opportunity. Yeah. And then sometimes they come in and like, hey, Coach, we're going to do mitts today. No, you were supposed to be here at 10. You were not here. So now your time, I'm using it for somebody else because you weren't here. And they're like, oh, and then you could tell right away they start getting bothered. But hey, they got to understand that we have a schedule.
Mm-hmm.
They gotta be professionals.
Professionals, there it is.
I mean, you gotta be professional. I mean, if I tell you at 10, show up at 10 because I mean, I'm not only training you, I'm training other fighters, and everybody has their time. So if I told you at 10 and you show up at 11, I got somebody at 11. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes they don't understand that. But it's called professionalism, you know.
It's like, professional.
I teach fighters to like. Hey, when you walk in the ring, it's like you gotta be a professional. If you're a professional fighter, you gotta present yourself as one. You walk in the gym, you got your bag, you got your gloves, you got your mouthpiece, and you got a towel, whatever you need, your hand wraps, whatever you need. Why? Because you're coming to work. That's your job as a professional. You're walking in to work with your tools. In another job, you go to work and you don't bring your tools with you. What happened? You're not working. You gotta go. Yeah. Sometimes, oh, Coach, I don't have my mouthpiece. Oh, well, you're not sparring.
Yeah.
Oh, that's okay, Coach. I'll use toilet paper. No, you're not sparring today. Yeah. Oh, Coach, I don't got my gloves. I don't got my headgear. Okay, then you're not sparring. Oh, but I'll figure it out. Nope. I mean, you don't bring your tools to work. It's your responsibility. You got to have your tools when you walk in this gym. If not, just do your thing.
Yep. Fat Boy says insomnia is not a result of not working hard enough. And Fat Boy, I get you. I know what you're saying.
I understand.
No, I completely understand. Insomnia is a result. It's a medical condition for a lot of people. But if you've ever done Joel Diaz's workouts where you're running through the sand dunes and going to the gym, you're going to find a way to fall asleep that day.
Oh, believe me.
You're going to find a way to sleep. You might want to sleep 2 hours.
If I would do my own workouts, I'll fall asleep when I get in the car going driving home.
Hey, I fall asleep watching Tonio because he's got his coffee and he's watching the guys run, and I see all those guys complaining right there. But no, insomnia.
Tonio's the boss.
No, insomnia for people who have a real condition, that is super serious. I'm not making fun of that. I'm talking about if you're in there sparring for 12 rounds, you're going to have to sleep. Here Mondo's coming in with good questions right here. Mondo, he was getting all ready. He's on a 4-day weekend. Which fight do you wish you had attended in person?
Me?
Ooh, yeah.
Or I wish I would have attended De La Hoya Trinidad. I mean,
oof.
I wasn't in that fight. It's a fight that, to me, honestly, it's the only fight in boxing history that, to me, should have been a rematch, and it's never gonna happen. But that's the fight that generated a lot of attention, regardless of who won, who didn't win, or whatever. But I wish I would have been in that fight because, I mean, the atmosphere must have been, I mean, different from a lot of fights.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mexico, Puerto Rico.
You know,
Wepa.
I mean, that's the fight that, honestly, I wish I would have attended, and I didn't. I mean, at that time, I was, you know, I wasn't a trainer. I was still a fighter, but it was one of those where anybody would have wished to be on that fight. And after the fight, I mean, even up to now, it's been years, and people still talk about it because of the outcome.
Yeah.
And to me, it's the only fight that made sense to be a rematch, and it never did.
Oh man, dude. Every time I see Tito, I saw him like 4 times, and every time I saw him in Puerto Rico, because Tito just lives a simple life. He's just a god in Puerto Rico. He goes to all the club shows. He's there. He's the nicest guy, and you see him, you're like, man, one more time, just one more time. You see, that's
very humble guy.
That's why people are like, oh, Oscar's coming back. You know, go fight Tito one more time. You know, you're both in your 40s.
Fight Tito one more time.
Come on.
Hey, if Oscar comes back, come on, at least do an exhibition like Javier Suarez and.
Oh yeah, I saw that the other day. Coach, Fino Boxing says, Coach, when was the last time you were in a street fight? I don't know if you want to answer that.
The last time I was in a street fight, man, I went to a concert with my wife.
Oh, que la chin.
And you know, I mean, I wasn't looking for problems.
Hold on. The fact that you started with, I wasn't looking for problems. That's the same thing that Bob said when he walked in when Richie was playing. That dude's my brother. He wasn't looking for problems.
Yeah, but look, this is what happened. I think that was the last time I had a fight. My wife likes Los Tigres del Norte, right? And at that time, there was a concert at Saboba Casino. And, I mean, my wife knows that before we got married, I used to cause trouble and I used to pick fights, and I love to fight. I love to fight, whatever, you know. Yeah. To me, fighting it was fun. So we went to the concert, Saboba Casino. The casino has only two, has an entrance and an exit. And I still remember, Beto, we were watching the Tigres del Norte play, and we were standing like right in front of the stage. And as you know, as we're there watching, just enjoying the concert, there were some young guys in front of us, some girls. And I mean, it's disrespectful when you're with your wife and somebody's stepping on you or bumping into you. And worse, when they bump into you or they step on your wife or something, and they don't even say, hey, I'm sorry, or excuse me. So they started doing that. And this guy bumps into my wife, and then I started getting a little aggravated. So then she looks at me and she's like, oh, ya vas a comenzar. Like, so I started getting a little aggravated.
But he's disrespecting your wife.
Exactly. So then all of a sudden he comes and he bumps into me. Second time, but he doesn't even turn and say, I'm sorry, you know, whatever. So then to avoid the problem, I tell my wife, I mean, we're right in front of the Tigres del Norte, right there in front of the stage. So we go sit on the very top of the bleachers, just so that she's comfortable, and she's not telling me you.
Oh.
You know, like,
Coach, you're freezing. Hold on here. What did you say? You went to the top?
Yeah, we went to the top.
Okay. You were freezing, so I want to make sure. But before you said that, Coach, Coach, right here.
I was freezing. I was like, okay. I was like, okay, just so.
You weren't freezing. Okay, I thought you were. I didn't want to lose you right there.
No.
Okay, Coach. Here
I thought I was freezing on the screen.
Yeah.
I don't freeze. No. I was just avoiding problems to, you know.
Yeah.
So that my wife.
Okay, hold on. You were freezing on the screen. Okay, hold on. You were freezing on the screen. Let's just reset before you went up there. Here, right here, the classic line. I didn't want no problems. Another one. What happened was another line. You can take the boxer out of the fight, but you can't take the fight out of the boxer. Okay, Coach. You go to the top, and what happens?
So I go to the top, and we're watching the concert from up there, and then all of a sudden, like, I told my wife, because it was going to be a lot of traffic. It was a lot of people. Those concerts, a lot of people. So I told her, let's go have dinner before we leave. We go in the casino, we go to the restaurant, and we're having dinner, and I think it was my wife or me, I don't know. We wanted a drink, so we tell the waiter, hey, to make us a drink. So he went and came back, and he didn't know how. He didn't know what it had. And basically, he went to the bar, and the guy's, oh, so 2-3 times, it took him a while to figure out what was in the drink that I asked him for. All of a sudden, it was about time for the concert to be over, and somebody said, hey, if you guys don't leave early, you guys are going to run into some problems getting out of here. True. So by the time, the guy made it long trying to make the drink, and as we finished, got the check, and as we're walking out, there was a stampede of people walking in into the casino. So when we made it to the car, Beto, we were parked, like, facing each other in the cars. We couldn't get out because there was a line of cars behind us getting out of the concert. So then I remember I told my wife, I'm going to lay down right here. I was on the driver's side. She was on the passenger side. So I lay down and I go, I'm going to take a nap just so that the traffic can slow down. As I'm leaning back in the seat, the car, and then she's looking, and then she tells me, hey, there's this guy walking in between the parking lot, and he's scratching cars. He's keying cars.
Oh.
And I said, just leave him. He's drunk. So I lean back again. My luck, Beto, the guy, he's very far, and he's keying cars on the way, and all of a sudden, he sits on the hood of my car. From all the cars, right? In the whole parking lot. He sits on the hood of my car, and then she tells me, hey, and I look up, and I go, he's drunk, just leave him. Okay, we left him. But at the same time, when he got up to keep walking, he turned around, and with a key, he made a big old circle on my hood. Like he carved it. Oh, man. So as I get off the car, I tell my wife, I don't remember my chain or my watch. And I go, wait, here.
Wait, hold on. You took off your chain, you took off your watch. Porque ahí vienen los chingazos. You're ready.
Yeah. So the guy was, he was drunk, but he knew what he was doing. Big guy. He was a little bit heavy guy. And then I go, hey, come here. Where are you going? And then he looks at me and he goes, I go, come here. You're not going anywhere. By then I tell my wife, hey, to go call the cops or security or whatever. So then the guy, he gets the key like this, and he wants to stab me with it, right? I go, hey, don't even think about it. Yeah. So then you could hear people that were trying to get out of the parking like, fight. There. And I'm like, I go, hey, come here, don't leave. You gotta come back. Hey, somebody's gonna have to pay for this. So the guy's like, fuck you. So I go, come here. So I'm getting closer to him, and he swings at me. So when he swings at me, I just took a step back and just caught him, boom, and he fell. And he's on the floor, and he's trying to kick me. I go, hey, I told you not to leave. Just relax. You're gonna pay for what you did. So he's mad. I go, if you get up again, I'm gonna put you down again. So then I'm watching him. He's walking around. Nobody comes. So my wife's like, all of a sudden, I followed him, and since nobody came around, I got him over there in the corner area by himself, and I beat his ass. Nobody paid for I paid for the hood, for the repair, and then all of a sudden, I just put him down and told him, hey, I told you not to leave. You did some damage to my car. You're not gonna pay me. So I just beat his ass, got his wallet. He had not even a penny in his wallet. So I walked away. I go, so that was the last time.
Wow.
That's why I don't go to concerts, not even Chalino concerts. That was one of the last concerts that I went to.
That was a long time ago, statute of limitations. So if you're watching this, you can't sue him. It happened too long ago. So, Coach, refill your wine right now. Take a breath right now. We're gonna take a little break.
Hey, eat it. I can feel you.
As Fat Boy says, Beto, you love being an instigator. Yes.
Beto, I can feel you,
hell
right?
yeah.
Let me see the bottle.
I
told you.
Yeah, see the guy.
I can tell in your eyes. Esos ojitos están cerrando, Beto.
I got LASIK, bro. I got LASIK.
Hey, let me call Joel and Razo to find somebody else to play tomorrow.
No. If it's golf, I'm showing up. Don't worry. Look, Coach. I already knew I was gonna get drunk tonight, so I already put my clubs in the car. I already put my clothes in the car. I got my bag for Thompson this weekend all in the car. So tomorrow when I wake up, straight to Starbucks. Boom, vamos.
I think you're taking Michaela to replace you.
No. LAUSD, no school tomorrow, so she can sleep in. I don't have to worry about the kids. Yeah, vamos.
Oh, nice. Oh, no wonder. You're getting drunk so Michaela can play for you.
Shoot, she don't even
Hey,
know.
you've been taking it with you, huh?
She played once. It was fun. It was good to go. And my daughter, Miguelita, ahí vamos. Oh, Joe says shots. Fuck. I got a full drink here from Westside. Thank you. I've done 2 shots. I still got to upload the podcast afterwards. Fuck it.
Ya te comprometiste there.
Woo! Wow. That was good. All right.
What a great night.
Ah,
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary. 5 months. What do you get somebody for your 5-month anniversary? We sound like teenagers. Oh, we've been together 5 months. Oh, Tonyo's watching us. All right, Tonyo, I'm going to show you a picture now. I'm feeling good, bro. I'm going to put this in my drink, though. No shot.
I wanted Tonyo to fight this morning and he didn't.
You want Tonyo to fight?
I wanted Tonyo to fight somebody this morning and he didn't. I go, my brother's going to make me proud this morning. Nah.
Wait, why didn't he want to fight?
I think he had chicken in the oven. I'm telling you, man. Hey, I left home and I got people working over there in the building. So Antonio shows up and he posts a video. He sends me a video of a guy sleeping in 2 mattresses behind the building, and he has a desk and a wheelchair. Okay.
What?
So I get really mad, right? Some transient just came to the building and just brought two mattresses and a desk and a wheelchair, and the guy's asleep on the mattress. So I told Antonio sends me a video, and I was like really mad because the guy was, basically littering my building. And I go, Antonio, you better get him out of there. And I was hoping Antonio would react, like grab the guy by the neck or something, shake him out a little bit. He goes, hey, can you please get up? Can you leave? I go, okay, Antonio, don't worry, I'll call the cops for you. So the cops showed up, and they took care of it. But I really wanted Antonio to get a little mad, because Antonio's too calm.
Yeah,
sometimes I need Antonio to get a little aggressive.
Antonio is he made sure to send me a picture of Chalino. He's like, hey, not that one. Where's it at? There was a picture of Joel. Antonio sent a picture of, I don't know, where is it at? Antonio sent me a picture, I don't know, of his Chalino Sanchez collection. So I don't know what they did with it.
Antonio was a big Chalino Sanchez fan. Antonio had every single cassette of Chalino Sanchez.
Yeah, he sent me that picture, but I can't find it right now because, Antonio, I wish I could post a picture, but I'm fucking buzzed, bro. So
Antonio had every single cassette.
There it is, Antonio. I found the picture. I'm showing it right now. I should turn that, but Antonio, bro, when you send me pictures, have them the right way. But there is Antonio's Chalino Sanchez collection. He said they're all brand new. He was a big Chalino fan. That's going on. All right. See, Tonyo, we take care of you. So as you're sending me pictures, the program that I got is called Ecamm, and I use it where I can change the different camera angles, do all kinds of different stuff. So we have fun with it. Coach, I'm fucking buzzed now.
You don't need to tell me. I can tell in your eyes.
Hey, Coach. Ya llegó tu gallo. Razo is here. We don't need no Razo. We don't need no Razo.
Razo. We missed you, Razo.
Oh, there you go. All right, so Razo, today we're doing a Q&A. Razo, tell Junior. Damn, I'm yelling, huh? I can hear it in my head.
Oh, you're good.
No, I can tell I'm yelling.
You're having a good time.
Dude, and I guarantee you this podcast will be up at 10:30 tomorrow. Razo,
anniversary.
Tell Joel Jr. that we're playing golf tomorrow. You didn't even fucking tell him, bro. Like, I set up a foursome, you didn't even tell him. Question for you. Dude, Mando's coming in with good questions, man. Normally he's busy cooking, everything else.
Mando, cuñado.
El cuñado. What underdog surprised or impressed you the most?
Underdog?
Yeah. Or one of them. Tell me a good story, Coach.
Ooh. Honestly, I was there working for HBO Latino. I've seen a lot of underdogs that have impressed. Buster Douglas, Mike Tyson.
Oh, yeah.
But it was one of those memorable fights. But in the personal level, Mando, the underdog that honestly surprised me, and it surprised me more because I was there and I could have bet money that night. I was sitting next to Roy Jones.
Oh.
when Sergio Martinez fought Miguel Cotto.
Oh.
Yeah, I did that fight for HBO Latino. I was commentating that night. Actually, I think I took Junior with me that day because we flew a night before, and we flew the night before, and we took a red eye. So we got to New York early morning at 5. So they took us to the hotel, and Joel and I, we went to the room, and we slept till about 2 o'clock. That's how tired we were. But I never, honestly, I mean, knowing Sergio Martinez,
Yeah.
and what a great boxer, and I mean,
Argentina.
yeah, I never expected for Miguel Cotto
Yeah.
to beat him that night. To me, that was talking about underdogs. That was the fight for me that I will always remember. Never expected for Cotto to beat Sergio Martinez, and then things came back. I never expected Saddam Ali to beat Miguel Cotto.
Yeah, Saddam Ali beating Miguel Cotto. That was a good one. Saddam winning a title, then afterwards he lost it to Jaime Munguia. Right now, take a chance to give a shout out to Delilah Rico, who does a great job with the USA Amateurs. I'm a big fan of the amateur program growing up in Carson, the Fabella Chavez Boxing Center. I still got the shirt. I remember the late Fab would always tell stories about going out there, and it's cool to see the amateur scene, the way it works right now. And Delilah Rico does a great job on Twitter and with the amateurs. Like, if I wasn't a broadcaster coach, I swear to you, I would be a boxing referee. I would love to get in that, or a judge. But I'm a little biased right now with what's going on with the way my career goes. But I kid you not. I'll tell you the story right now. The first thing I ever did boxing related, I was the ring announcer for an amateur show at Scott Park in Carson for Fabella Chavez Boxing Center. I was like maybe 24, I was 25. I was working there. And I was like, dude, this is cool being the ring announcer. I'm like, this is cool. So I sent an email to Lupe Contreras. La Voz de Lupe's email is La Voz de Box. Lupe is, of course, top rank. I'm going to see him this weekend. ¿Quién es más chingón? Like I used to watch him on Solo Boxeo. I was like, Lupe, I want to be a ring announcer. Like, what do I do?
¿Quién es el más macho?
¿Quién es el más macho? ¿Quién es más chingón?
¿Quién es el más macho?
Fuck it. You know what?
The tequila's hitting you already.
Fuck it. Razo, get ready to tap in, bro. Get ready to tap in.
A lot of people don't realize how much work is put into this sport of boxing. And I'm gonna tell you, growing up as an amateur, going to tournaments like talking about Delilah, I mean, these people put in so much hours of their time.
Yeah.
They travel
Volunteers
on the weekend. Yeah, they volunteer. They travel everywhere. I mean, much respect for them. All these officials in the amateur sport, referees, the officials, and obviously the people that coordinate all that. Delilah. I remember me growing up. There was this lady, Melanie Lay, who, I mean, basically knew all of us. I mean, Oscar De La Hoya, Shane Mosley, Fernando Vargas, Antonio. I mean, you can name any fighter back in the late 80s, early 90s. I mean, Melanie Lay knew everybody. And I know that, now in this era of the amateurs, and a few years back, I mean, Delilah knows a lot of fighters because she saw them growing up. Recently, Antonio sends me a video, and I go, what is it? One of my amateur fights.
Yours?
14 or 15 years old. Antonio sends me a video of me fighting when I was 14 or 15.
Pinche Antonio has connections everywhere.
No, but I asked Antonio, where'd you get this video? He goes, it's on YouTube. There was this no, seriously. There's this official that has a lot of fights from the past, and Antonio told me they're on YouTube. This guy's posting them on YouTube. He has Oscar De La Hoya's shows, Shane Mosley.
Way.
I mean, a lot of fights on YouTube, and Antonio will tell you who he is. There's a lot of amateur fights from a lot of fighters from the 90s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, and this guy had them all recorded, or he has videos of them, and now he's putting them up on YouTube.
Wow, that's cool. So, before we get to more questions right now, Fino Box is saying my brother-in-law used to fight there at Scott Park. So, before private gyms started opening up, a lot of the amateur boxing, from what I found out in the 80s, 90s, it was rec centers. Just like how you have the Indio Boys and Girls Club, Coachella Boys. It was the Boys and Girls Club or the PALs, the police department, or a local rec center, and then through
Youth,
the youth center. So in Carson they had it, and I never wanted to fight. I'm like, forget that, because I would see those kids running all the time. I've never been in a fight in my life. I mean, knock on wood. So there's no need for that, you know. But I'll tell you who hit who at what time and everything. I'm like in junior high when the cholos would fight, like when the rival gang would fight the other gang, I would be the one at lunch. Oh man, that guy hit this guy. That guy hit that guy. I was a reporter back in my day. I didn't even know, right? So I was good. So, but I would see what was going on with these like amateur programs, and I would go back and see. And I found a photo album at Scott Park in Carson. I still work out there when it was open, and there's in this photo album. They would have this big amateur show at the community center where the mayor would come out. It was a boxing dinner show, and everybody's there dressed up, and they had amateur shows, and it was like drinks and stuff like that. But Fabella Chavez, who the center's named after, who fought, Willie Pep, and he was in the California Boxing Hall of Fame, was inviting people in. And I'm like, there's pictures of Oscar fighting in these things, and there's pictures of like amateurs that went on, but. You had Jimmy Lennon Sr. at these events, not Jimmy Jr., his dad. And But this is what I want to know, Coach, is that world, when you're in it as a kid, you don't know it. But now that you see it from a distance, and I know that you have these little kids that come and train with you in the ranch, when you train them, how much satisfaction do you get from them? Because it feels like they keep you going and motivate you.
Well, you just go back in time and put yourself in their shoes. Honestly, growing up as a kid, honestly, I can tell you this: amateur boxing is the most fun sport there is, because there's no politics. I mean, there is politics, obviously. There's politics, but I mean, it's not a business like the professional business. You know, there's not that money, that paychecks and whatnot. And it's always been said, amateur boxing is one of the fun sports, because you go compete, you walk away with your trophy, and that's it. You win or lose, you got your trophy, and you walk away. It's like a very, very clean, fun sport. Once you make that transition in the pros, you're walking into more politics, and it's a business, you know. But the amateur sport is a fun sport. That's why when we're at the ranch training all these kids, and you see the motivation, is because they already got something in mind. Every single fighter, and you can ask anybody, any professional boxer right now, any world champion that you know right now, you ask them, and there was always somebody out there that motivated them to be where they're at now. I can tell you who motivated me as a kid. I would come to the gym, and in every gym, if it's a rec center or a private gym, all these kids, they come and they walk into the boxing gym, and as soon as they walk in, there's always somebody there that they look up to, and they want to be like them.
Yeah.
And they want to become world champions like them. Even if they're not champions, I mean, just the fact that they're great boxers, they're like, their dream is, I want to be like him. I would come to a gym myself, and there was a guy by the name of Ricardo Basilio. Ricardo Basilio was a gold medal champion in the Pan Am Games, one of the best boxers I've ever met. I would always tell him, because he was very lazy, undisciplined. He would fight with no training, and he would win. That's how good he was. He helped Oscar De La Hoya spar, Chavez, Paez, and he was great at what he did. And I remember growing up, as I was like 14, 15 years old, I would tell him, hey, because they call him Gillo. His name was Ricardo. I tell him, hey, Gillo, I mean, why don't you train? Why don't you could be a world champion? And he was like, nah. I mean, he represented the U.S. team or Mexico in the Pan Am Games, and he won gold medal.
Jeez.
He was great. And I remember I would come to the gym, did my work. I would wake up in the morning and go run, and I would tell him, hey, Gio, I don't know, but sometimes I think God is not fair. He doesn't give one person everything. I mean, he gave you talent, but didn't give you discipline. I mean, he gave me discipline, but I don't have the talent that you have. I would tell him, imagine if you had the discipline that I have, you would be great. Or if I had the talent that you have, I would assume. And you're like, yeah, I know, but man. I mean, our coach would tell him, I'll give you a car, I'll give you monthly. I'll pay you monthly just to train. And that he would he would get out of his house, go run. He would go to Circle K, get a coffee and a donut, and walk back.
And make weight.
I'm telling you.
And make weight.
And yeah, and he'll get in the ring and he'll play with anybody.
Yeah.
And nobody will touch him. And that's the thing. That's the guy that motivated me to be. I mean, what I did in boxing. I would go home and I would simulate this guy before I even went in the shower.
Yeah, I see that, and it's in every sport. Like, Virgil Ortiz posted a picture of him and Earl Spence when they were in the amateurs.
Of course.
Today, Teddy Atlas posted a picture of 15-year-old Joe Smith, and that's why I'm always nice to kids or who are the interns, because eventually those interns become your bosses. And there's a kid who I know, Drew Ruiz, who I knew when he was in college. He's a basketball writer. I always take care of him, look after him, like, hey man, advice, blah, blah, blah. He's now got a big time job. I'm like, good for you. Like, you don't want to be the hater. You want to help those kids out, because those kids eventually become men or women and they grow up to big time position, and you want to be that person who helped them, because I know that, look, as much as I am the way I am what I am, whatever I am. I know I'm a role model to some of these young people who want to get into this business, and I'm like, let me help you out. And I always tell them, don't do what I'm doing, get bigger than me, and I will do whatever I can to help you out. That's why I like seeing, Coach, like your post of the kids at the ranch where they're working out. They might be 10, 11 years old. They might never fight professionally, but they know that they learned that discipline about what it is to be a responsible young man. So respect to you, Antonio, for what you do, because
Thank you.
There's no money made there, and you're doing that for the real love of the sport, because those kids are coming to train to you. It's 110 degrees in the summer, and they're still there. Respect to all of them. Like that kid that you show, Caden Griffith. I've been following him for 3 years now.
Yeah.
But
Caden,
you just see that, what's going on. So respect to you and everybody else that helps out with the amateur program. Fat Boy Boxing says there's nothing better than seeing one of our own boxers move on to the pros. House of Boxing down in San Diego. Love those guys. They're wonderful people. Mm-hmm. I like when they post that their kids from the program are going to college, when they're going to turn pro at the Rancho Grande Bar in TJ, or some of their fighters have turned pro, have gone on to fight for the Army or the Marines. It's like it's just good to see these kids that going out there. Because we know this, they can easily go different ways. Pinche mando, el cuñado he must be sober because he's asking good questions. Coach, one of the most memorable fights you took part in, and for me, one of the most memorable fights that I've called. What do you got, Coach?
One of the most memorable fights I've had a few, but to me, it was something that I couldn't believe. Not only as a trainer, as a former fighter, being in the ring against the best fighter pound for pound of the era, and that's against Shane Mosley with my brother Antonio.
Oof.
And I still remember, because the first words that came out of my mouth when I saw Antonio after the fight was,
you were his trainer? You were his trainer?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I hugged him and I told him, Antonio, just look at it this way. Who from the Coachella Valley has made it to Madison Square Garden to fight the best fighter pound for pound of the era? Because he tried his best. He did everything, but he wasn't in his weight class. Antonio moved up to 147 when he was a 140 pounder to fight a Shane Mosley who had just beat Oscar De La Hoya. And of course, Mosley even told me not so long ago, talking to Mosley, he says, when I fought Antonio, I felt that he wasn't my weight, because his punches didn't hurt me. He could hurt a 140 pounder, but I didn't feel the power in his punches. Of course, he's a 147 pounder. And I remember Antonio went in there and did what he had to do, And obviously, Shane Mosley was, at the time, pound for pound, the best fighter of the era.
Shane was bad.
Had just beat Oscar previously, and Antonio loses to him, and Antonio felt bad. So I jumped, when I was in the ring with him, I remember Antonio he had a towel on his shoulders and he put it over his head, and he felt like, I know he felt the knot on his throat, and I did too. So what I did is I hugged him. We graduated from Coachella Valley High School, and I still remember the first thing. That's why it's one of the most memorable ones, because I remember I hugged him and I told him, hey bro, keep your head up. I want you to keep your head up, and I want you to remember this. Not many people from from the Coachella Valley, graduated from Coachella Valley High School, have made it to Madison Square Garden. I'm proud of you.
That's awesome.
Proud of you. And
That's awesome.
those are memories that I will never forget. Especially with my own brothers. I mean, those will never be forgotten because we lived them. And it's my blood.
Yeah, that's a special moment right there. Where how many people have never left Coachella Valley?
Yeah.
How many people have never seen New York, let alone to fight on HBO in the main event for a world title? And I know we joke with Toño a lot, but
un pinche indio de Michoacán lo bajaron de la sierra y lo bajaron a New York.
Like we joke with Toño a lot, but Toño is what he did in his career. Respect to him, and you're right, Coach. For him to go and put the Valley on the map, and having gone to Indio every month for fights, and I see the pride that you take. I always joke around like, who lives here? But the people that live there take a lot of pride in where they're from, and that's the thing is you represented not just your city but a culture, and you're like. Look, the first time I went to Madison Square Garden when the Lakers played the Knicks, I walked in there, and I've covered the Lakers championships, parades, all this. I've done every event, and it's like 2011 or 12, whatever it was. I walk in there, I'm like, fuck, this is Madison Square Garden. Like, this is the Mecca. And you walk, right, Coach? You walk in there, and it feels different. Oh, yeah. There's energy, there's a vibe, the locker room. You just feel everything coming out.
Even the people walking outside Madison Square Garden, you can tell. I mean, it's a different environment. Yeah. It's a different energy that you feel when you walk in there because, I mean, the way people talk about the championship fights of 1970s, they talk about those big fights that happen in there. Yeah. And you do
that, right? You're walking through it. You're like in that, so Madison Square Garden, you see it on the outside. That's not the building. You walk through an elevator. You walk in. You take all these different elevators. It's all this other. It's just crazy. And when you actually get into the arena, you're like, "Fuck!" Yeah. Like this is cool right there. This is actually really cool. Mando, to answer your question, the most memorable fight for me was the first one I did in Las Vegas when I did Canelo against Perro Angulo. And the reason it was special for me, it was my fourth fight ever. Broadcasting. It was the international broadcast, and I did it, and that was I had done 3 other international broadcasts, and I felt like I'm fucking lying. I'm stealing money right now. But that one in Vegas, when Pepe Aguilar is looking at me and he points at me, and he might not have been pointing at me, but he fucking pointed at me. All right, I'm a fucking. I thought he was pointing at me, but the reason he was pointing at me is because he was next to the person with the bell, and they hit it, and that's why it is. So like that's, but so. He got done, and when Pepe walked off of the ring mat, I put my hand up like a fucking groupie, fucking hit me, and I'm like, damn, I'm 6'1". Pepe's like 6'5". I'm like, cool.
He's a big boy.
He's a big dude. But that moment right there, announcing that fight, and I see it, and my voice is on the microphone, I can hear it in the headphones. I'm like, fuck, you know what? I belong here. Fuck this. Like, I had done fights in Brooklyn, I done a fight in D.C., but Vegas, I'm like, fuck yeah, I belong here. And after that, I was like, I remember calling my boss, Monica Street, and telling her, like, Monica, I deserve to be on these fucking broadcasts. Let's go. And then the next month, I did my first broadcast on Fox, and I haven't looked back since. So that was the first one for me. It was just fucking cool. And then for me, though, it's like hearing my calls, like Canelo knocking out Khan, my voice is heard. Like Canelo Chavez, I hear my voice. It doesn't matter compared to that first time where I'm like, fuck it. Because that gave me, Coach, that idea of like, you belong here. Like you,
of course, it gives you the confidence where you say, you know what, I work hard to be where I'm at right now. Yeah, and you're there.
And I'm looking over, like 3 seats over is fucking Jim Lampley. I'm like, fuck. Behind me is Chavez. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, all right, somebody's gonna come touch the little fucking. Hey, bro, like you gotta fucking go. Like you don't belong here. Just for that, I'm gonna do a shot. Saludos, everybody.
You don't know how nerve-wracking was working with Ricardo Santos.
Fuck, Rock, he's fucking cool, man, but he's fucking professional. He's a big deal. Solo Waxel.
Of course. He recently got his
book.
He wrote a book.
Yeah, I told it.
I bought it.
Oh, you bought it?
I have it.
Yeah, I told Ricardo, I'm like, hey, Ricardo, that's a good book. When it's in English, let me know. Cheers, everybody. The reason we're doing the celebration today is because next week, I don't know. I might be busy, so I don't know if we're doing the show next week. So I'll let you guys know. But we all want to celebrate 5 months anniversary today.
5 months anniversary.
Woo! Bah! All right, here we go. And I gotta follow it. Coach, you still got some wine?
Of course.
We've only been doing an hour and a half. All right. Here we go. Daniel Ochoa. Coach, when you took out the former IBF champion Julio Cesar Barboa in 1992, how did you feel after that fight?
I felt great because I beat Julio Cesar Barboa, and after I beat him, he became a world champion after that. Yeah, I was like, man, I beat the guy.
I beat the guy.
Now he's a world champion.
Oh, man. The Green Eye Bandit. Fuck that. I ain't bleeping out nothing, man. We keep it here. So, like, if you're watching this, anyways. All right. Any more questions? If you guys have them, bring them through right now. Lightning round. We'll get through it with Coach Joel Diaz, and you can watch him on Sunday on Fox. He's working the PBC show. What's the name of the fighter you have, Coach?
Batir Agmedov.
And he only has one loss, and that was to Jamal James, correct?
No, his only loss was to Mario Barrios.
Mario Barrios. Okay. And then I'll be on Thompson Boxing on Sunday, 4 o'clock. We're in a polo and shorts. Myself, Doug Fisher, Jessica Rosales. We have 3 fights for you. That'll be on the Thompson Boxing Facebook and YouTube page, so you can check that out. So on Sunday from Corona. So I'll be going to quarantine tomorrow after I play golf with Joel Diaz Jr. So it'll be good fights. Actually, coach, there's a kid fighting who's Japanese and Mexican. It's El Cuete Japonés is his nickname. Yeah. I have no idea. Oh, you know who he is?
Yeah, he was offered for 2 of my fighters.
Okay. Yeah, he's like 3-0, but his name is El Cuete Japonés. I went on his Instagram. It's all in Spanish. Like, what is going on?
Yeah, he's out of LA somewhere.
Yeah, he trains at Wild Card. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, final questions. If not, we're gonna go start drinking our wine. Pheno Boxing wants to talk boxing. Make sure you just subscribe to Pheno Boxing. They make millions of money on their YouTube page. Joel Diaz, we'll see him tomorrow. Mario Favela. All right. Okay. Well, since we're wrapping up, I guess we're just gonna forget you guys. Forget the questions. It's just me and Coach now. Because Coach, you're in quarantine. You can't go nowhere.
I got nowhere to go. And you know what? I look out the window and I see a pool and I see the taquero right there in the corner and I can't even get to it.
You're right there at Staples. And that taquero's so good too, right at the corner.
I see the guy that has that taco truck right there. I mean, he's right here. I mean, I can see him from my window and I can't even get to it.
The Green Eye Bandit. When should I expect royalty checks for coining the phrase ThursDIAZ? You're right. Green Eye Bandit is the guy who came up with ThursDIAZ. You're right.
Really?
Yeah, it was his idea to call it ThursDIAZ. I give all kinds of credit to Caesar, the Green Eye Bandit. Caesar, I just want to go play baseball with you guys on Mondays. That would be great.
And that'll cover it.
That would be Joe Ash, thoughts on Ghost? I don't know what that means. Coach, if you could train anybody dead or alive, who would it be?
If I could train anybody dead or alive, Marvin Hagler, man.
Where's your helmet? Oh, you're not at home. You don't have the helmet.
I wish I would have just taken a picture holding a pair of mitts for Marvelous Marvin Hagler.
No, that's it.
I mean,
that's it.
I mean, to me, that was the greatest ever.
Yeah, that's your guy. Letty wants to know, what's been the worst part of the bubble for the two of you? For me, personally, I haven't been in the bubble as long as Coach has, except for Oklahoma, but he was there longer than I was. The worst part is just being in your room. Like, I'm a person, when I wake up, I'm out of the house. I have my coffee, I do my reading, and I'm out, and I'm gone. So the worst part is being stuck in your room. And it's, look, once again, we're not complaining because we're working. But when you have your routine of life of just like boom, 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 boom. Like if you follow my Instagram at Beto Vision, I'm always on the move. I'm always doing something. And just to be told, like, I could watch movies, I could do stuff, but it's just like, it's just, Coach, worst part for you?
It's hard because there's a lot of things to do. You know, there's a lot of things to do. I have a team of fighters back home.
Oh, that's right. You train your guys.
Yeah. Letty, for me, honestly, it's tough because I have a family at home.
Yeah.
I have a project that I'm working on and dealing with contractors, the city and everything, and dealing with people coming around. Like, for example, Antonio this morning. Good thing that Antonio, comes around and checks out on what's going on at the building.
Qué bonito que te ayuda.
Yeah, Antonio's always there. When I'm not there, Antonio's always there. But the thing is, I feel like like I said today, I feel like I got my hands tied behind my back and I can't do nothing when I'm in the room, when I'm here, when I could be back home doing a lot of things. Before, it's like, okay, you come on Friday for the weigh-ins and the fight Saturday, and that's it. But obviously, we have to work. It's hard just for me being here and having so much to do, honestly. And especially when you got the phone, your phone's ringing that you need this, you need that, and when you're at home, you can do them yourself. But now I have to pick up the call and then hang up and call somebody to do it for me, and it's hard. Like Beto said, I'm the type of person that every morning, I mean, I don't need an alarm. I wake up early, 5 in the morning, and as soon as I get up, I go to the kitchen, make my coffee, get in my truck, and boom, here I go. If I don't go to the ranch, I go to the building, but I just can't stand being in a place without doing anything.
Yeah, it's like people making fun of me, say, "Oh, you're a Starbucks," and it's true because you look. So Michael Thompson, who is Klay Thompson's dad, I used to work with him in radio. He always told me, Beto, when you're in your 40s, you're gonna develop a routine. You gotta have your routine. And I was like, man, Michael, that's old people talk. Now I get it. Drop off the kid at school, go to El Starbucks, get my tall Americano, just chill.
Starbucks.
Yeah. Because at the Starbucks by my mom's house, you have the old guys there. Puro chisme, puro plática. And I like, they don't talk to me, but I like sitting next to them and hearing their stories. These are guys like my dad who's 70, they're his age, around there. But they always talk about cuando tenía mi rancho. Like, I just love hearing old people's stories. That's why my mom and dad, when they talk in the morning, I'll sit there and I'm just listening. And I act like I don't know what they're talking about. And then all of a sudden, I'll ask a question. ¿Qué te importa? ¿Qué te importa? Because old people just don't like to tell you the story. And I just like listening to old people tell their stories. And like, cuando era joven, this kind of story. So that's just my routine. That's why I like go sitting at the Starbucks by my mom's house in Carson. Because you have these group of older señores that are talking about stuff, como sufrieron and stuff like that. And it's like, you pay respect to them, you know? And so that was my routine. And then in the morning, that's when I do my emails. That's when I do my reading. That's when I ask people, like, hey, give me a job, all that other stuff. So I developed that little routine of what's going on. And that's why this pandemic sucks, because we can't find things to do. And yeah, Coach, we're working, but at the same time, we're not really working because we're limited. Like on Sunday, when I worked at Thompson's show, I know I can't go talk to you the way I normally would talk to if you were working a fight. Because the commission comes in and is like, you got to leave. You got to leave.
Yeah.
You got to leave. It's just, all this sucks, but ThursDIAZ doesn't, because we're here for you guys for the last 5 months. Coach.
And we don't have to wear a mask. Look, let me tell you. See what you just said. I asked.
A few more questions so I can finish this.
When I was working construction,
Nope.
for many years, I would always leave my house and I would stop at this coffee place. Right? I remember Swiss Donuts is the place, and get myself a donut, get myself a coffee. It wasn't a Starbucks. It was a Swiss Donut coffee shop. And one time, as I walk in the coffee shop, I'm walking out, and there's a table, and there's a group of older men. I mean, old 70s, 80s, around there, and they're sitting at the table, 5, 6 guys, and they're reading a paper. And I remember walking out of the coffee shop, and one of the guys tells me, "Hey, is this you on the paper?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Man, that's good." He goes, "Yeah, we've been watching you, and so hey, come sit with me." So I sit right there with him, and we're talking.
Way.
From that moment on, we became friends. I would leave my house, go to the Swiss Donuts, and sit right there and talk to them.
Yeah.
Very great people. One guy was a Marine, and he would always make jokes. And I remember one time, I'll never forget this man. He was like 90 years old, and he tells me, "Hey, you want to see my pride and joy?" Sure. He pulled out his wallet. And I would think, oh, he's going to show me a picture of his daughter or wife or whatever. He would show me a picture of soap, pride, and joy. And he would laugh. And, he would, yeah. Hey, okay, so I remember. And then he would tell me, and then I'll never forget this man because he was always clowning. I never took him serious. He was 90 years old.
Yeah.
And then he would tell me, when I was young, I was in the Marines. I used to box too. Oh, really? Yeah. You want to know my nickname? What was your nickname? They used to call me the laundry kid. Really? He goes, yeah, because I was always dangling on the rope. So I'll never forget this man. He was great. His soul rest in
Yeah.
peace. And I mean, you're talking about 4 or 5 years. I mean, every day I would come to that coffee shop, and
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden one's missing, and then
Yeah. So.
he passed. And
But
then there
you do
was
know, Coach, that you made their day because
yeah.
the
For all those years, I would come and sit down with them and talk to them for years until I mean, it was
Yeah.
like 5 or 6 of them, and then it became 4, it became 5, and all of a sudden I become a trainer and I stopped going. And I remember 2 years ago, I went to the same coffee shop and I ran into 2 of them,
no.
and I sat there and actually that day I ran into Tim Bradley's father-in-law in that coffee shop, and I walk outside, and then and he looked at me and he goes, you forgot about us. What did he say about old something? I go, no, never. It was come and sit with us. So I sat with 2 of them, and we started talking about the ones. He goes, oh, this what happened. This happened. But I mean, it was a great little environment for years. But I'll never forget. Hey, they used to call me the laundry kid. Really? Why?
That's a great line. Always landing on the road.
No, always dangling.
Always dangling on the road. I see. I'm
Yeah.
gonna find. Oh man, that's a great line, Coach. I'm gonna take a shot because I'm gonna tell you a great story you're gonna love right now.
Bro.
Saludos to everybody on ThursDIAZ that hangs out with us. Shoot you guys. Leti, como siempre, gracias. Leti, I'm gonna post.
Ya falta otra botella. Ya falta otra botella.
No. Take it easy. I gotta. So next Sunday, I'm gonna start doing Channel 2 with Jim Hill. So I gotta lose my chin. So I gotta mix in some water. No.
Yeah. Hey, just put on some clear tapes and tape them. I mean, you can't see that Scotch tape.
No, hey, Coach, because I got the perfect. And I'll show you the makeup tips. It's contour.
I have a friend in New Orleans. He says that when you take a picture, you gotta go like this, stick out your neck like that for the picture, para que no se vea. Like, levántala.
No, I do. Have you ever seen my pictures? I'm always like this. I'm never like this. I'm always like
this.
Oh yeah.
Sácalo por fuera.
Hide the chins.
Yeah.
Don Ramon. Razo's still here. All right, Razo. So, Coach, after this story, I'm gonna give you guys a chance to have a few more questions. Get them going. All right. So last summer, I took my son Mateo to a Europe trip, and Razo, how loaded are you? I am fucking hammered, Razo.
Razo, you look at his eyes. Razo, look at his eyes.
I got my green eyes. They're blues, whatever, blah blah blah. But the podcast will still be up tomorrow. So last summer, I took my son Mateo. He graduates 8th grade, and we go to Europe. I took this idea from my brother. My brother Gabriel, who's the principal, he said, when your kid graduates 8th grade, take that kid to Europe. Let the kid pick the cities that they want to go to, because in 9th grade they learn world history. He's like, when they go to high school, 9th grade, 8th grade, they still want to hang out with you. Once they become 11, 12, they forget about you, and then now you know with your son Joel, they don't even know who you are.
You know better than me.
They have no idea who you are, right? So, and he's like, you do that as a history trip, and it's a chance for you to bond with them. So he did that with each daughter, and so I did with my son Mateo last year. We went to Paris, Florence, Italy, and Rome, Italy. And so we did that. It was just he and I, and like every check that I was making, for boxing, I was saving it, all kinds of other stuff. And it was a great experience. Instead of throwing a party, it was a fantastic experience.
Yeah.
Pinche caro, but it was worth it. Like, we went to Eiffel Tower, all that other. Anyways, I'm not bragging that I had money. I had no money, but I saved it up for a whole year so we can go.
Maldita pobreza.
No, pura pobreza. But it was all paid for, all that other stuff. So, anyways, we're in Rome, Italy. Coach, we went to the fountain, the famous fountain. And the thing is about that fountain, when you get there, if you show up early in the morning, and I'm gonna send it to myself right now so we can find it. If you show up early in the morning, it's just you. And we went at like 6 in the morning, and it was perfect. So we do the pictures, we see all that other stuff, and we see it. And Coach, we go to a little coffee shop. Every morning he and I are having a little cappuccino, became the Italians, all that other stuff.
Like this?
Yeah. The Trevi Fountain. There you go, Fino Boxing. The Trevi Fountain. So we're there. I'm going to find the picture. It was pretty cool. And we're having the cappuccino, but we're at a table. We're there. We went at 6 in the morning, took all kinds of cool pictures, pero hasta llegando la gente. So we're at this coffee shop, and there's nowhere to sit. And I see 2 Mexicans, man and his wife, like probably in their late 40s, 50s. And the la mesera, he's like, we don't have any seats, nowhere to go, you can wait. So we had a table of 4. It was just me and him. I was like, hey, how you doing? I acted like they're my friends. Hey, we're right here. They're like, the lady's like, you know them? I was like, yeah, sit down, yeah. The guy's like, oh man, thanks so much. They told us it was a 45-minute wait, but I saw raza and I could tell.
Yeah,
I could tell. I was like, hey, how you doing? Where you guys from? Oh, we're from California. I was like, where? Oh, we're from Southern California. I was like, where? They're like, a place you've never heard of. We're from Coachella Valley. I was like, yes. And I was like,
they relate to me?
No, here's the thing. They're like, I was like, Coachella? I was like, I go there once a month. I go to Fancy Springs. They're like, we live 5 minutes away from Fancy Springs. And I'm like, what, in one of the golf communities? They're like, yeah, our kids are grown up. My wife is a teacher. I'm a retired post office man. And every summer when she's on break, we go tour the country. We tour Europe. I'm like, oh, great. They're like, so what do you do? I was like, I work in sports. I was like, I work in boxing. They're like, oh, do you know Oscar De La? I was like, yeah, I know Oscar. Oscar's my guy, bro. I kid you not, coach, and I'm not saying this right now. I can't believe I barely remember this. The man tells me, he's like, hey, in Coachella, we have a big boxing program. They fight at Fancy Springs all the time. You ever been there for fights? I'm like, dude, I just told you I go there for fights, right? Yeah. He's like, I'm not a big sports fan, but I'll support anybody from the Valley. He's like, there's a fighter who just won a title not too long ago named Andrew Cancio from Blythe. He's telling me this boxing stuff, right? He's like, but there's a group of brothers. They're a trio of brothers named the Diaz. Do you happen to know who they are? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, Joel, Julio, Toño. He's like, well, I don't know their names, but I just know there's 3 of them. Yeah. So I'm at the Trevi Fountain, coach, and I'm having a cappuccino with them, and then we ordered another like a little dessert right there in the morning. And I tell Mattel, that's why I tell my son, I'm like, look, you should always just be nice to people. You never know who you're gonna run into. This and that. And he's like, so what do you do? I'm like, I'm actually a broadcaster. I work in He's like, oh, that's nice. He's like, so you actually know the Diaz brothers? And I'm like, yeah. I was like, I know who they are. This is that. He's like, yeah, because not too many people represent our Valley good because. And then he started giving me the numbers. He's like, you know, we have a 94% Latino population, but we're not represented well in Congress. He started talking about all the politica. He's like, people think we're just idiot farmers. He's like, there's a lot of money in Coachella. He's like, whenever anybody makes it from our area, we take pride in them. So Cancio, even though he's from Blythe, we take him. He's like, the brothers, whenever they play golf, we usually take him. And I'm like, and this story just reminded me, now that I'm fucking drunk, coach, that I'm in Italy, in Rome, at the Trevi Fountain, and there's a man telling me who's never met you, and he lives right by you, because he lives north of the 10. So in that same community, I'm pretty sure he lives in the same area as you, coach. And that's the beauty of my whole long story short is, like, always represent where you're from, and people are always gonna remember who you are. You leave that legacy. I just thought that was cool.
And you know what the sad thing is? It was back then. When we had that boxing club on 6th Street in Coachella, it was an old fire station. It was right next door to a police department. And people would come around looking for the boxing club, and they would go to the police department and ask for the box, and they didn't know where it was, and it was next door.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and I remember Lia Espinosa would say, "I can't believe that not even our own police department, which is next door, like maybe 20 feet from the gym, 20, 30 feet walking distance, they didn't know where the boxing gym was."
Wow!
But you ask other people from another town, another city, another state, and they'll tell you where it is.
Wow!
Things started getting better when I fought in South Africa for the world title. When I fought, when I fought for the IBF, I remember that's when I came back and they made a big deal. You know, there's a kid from Coachella Valley fighting for a world title. I fought in Johannesburg, South Africa. Came back, and that's when the city, they donated the gym at the park now,
Oh,
and
okay.
that's what started. Yeah, because they started giving us a little bit more recognition. But before, nothing, man. I mean, we're literally next door to a police department, and the police department didn't know where the boxing gym was. Yeah.
It was
And those are great stories. I mean, those are great stories. I mean, when I were in Monaco, we're on the train going to Italy, and we run into this person that, is from Puerto Rico, and we're speaking Spanish, and she heard us, and she guided us to Italy, where to stop, where to go, and I mean, other than that, we would have got lost. But I mean, yeah, I mean, you talk about people that you meet in another country, and those are great stories.
Yeah, I'm actually showing the picture of Mateo at the Trevi Fountain. That's like, for those of you watching it, it's like at 8 in the morning. It got that crowded, and I should have taken a picture with those people. That would have been cool to take a picture with them. And it's like, you never know who you're gonna run into. And it's
I mean, look, Beto, I remember when I talked about this before. When I fought in Johannesburg, South Africa, the arena was huge. Walking in the ring, I'm in South Africa. I'm fighting a guy from South Africa. And I still remember, and Antonio knows, because when we walk in the ring, I mean, we're looking everywhere, and we're in Africa. But we're way in the very top. You see a Mexican flag. You see a Mexican flag from far away. Well, it was a couple, husband and wife. They were from Oaxaca.
Oaxaca.
Way up
Wait,
there.
hold on. You see, you have a couple from Oaxaca in South Africa.
South Africa. And after the fight, they came to my dressing room.
No way.
And it's like, yeah, they live in Africa. They live there. And I mean, that's why there's a saying that says, "Los mexicanos son como la humedad, donde quiera se meten." Yeah, but I mean, it was good because, I mean, after the fight, having Mexican people come and say, "Hey, we're here to support you."
Yeah.
It's great because way on the very top of the out there on the bleachers, you see a couple waving a flag. It's like, "Hey, there's a Mexican flag up there." Those are good memories.
Good. Coach, remember when we did the first show? I got so drunk I had to go pee, and you could hear me?
Like now?
Yeah.
Like now?
So why don't you tell the story right now, Coach?
Tell a story? Oh, shit. Okay, what kind of story? Go ahead. Hey, let me answer the questions at least. Wow. Well, this is great, man. Beto's been putting things together for a while. And now that it's anniversary of this ThursDIAZ, hey, you know what? Before he gets back, I want to be able to have, I'm going to convince him to have Antonio on the show one of these days. Antonio has good stories too. You guys will laugh at Antonio's stories. I talked to him before, and hopefully he can make it happen. That was fast, Beto.
Ay, cabrón. Hold on. Here. Sanitizer. Para que no diga nada, esto es bola de buenos para nada. All right, here we go.
As soon as I walk out of my room, there's a hand sanitizer station. One by the elevator. As soon as I get off the elevator, I mean, when I walk up here, dude, my hands are like white.
But you also got security at the door. All right, here we go.
That's true.
The Green Eye Bandit says, "We love you, Coach. Thanks for everything you do." And you know what, and Coach,
thank you, man. I appreciate it.
We could have asked anybody to come on the show, and I think we're gonna start. Fino, I washed the hands, bro. There's a gato outside. Don't worry. Here, hold on. The goal is to finish this tonight.
I told you, Beto. Look.
Shoo!
I told you it was a lot. You've been busy on it, and you still have quite a bit. I told you.
And I still got to edit tonight. Here we go. Shots, chat, as my mom would say, chat, shots, pendejo.
Hey.
Woo! Here we go.
Beto, have you ever been? I mean, I know you've been to Vegas, but have you ever got one of those?
No.
Those margaritas?
No.
They're like in a big cup?
No, that's for amateurs.
Okay. My wife got one time.
Oh, she's not an amateur. She's a pro.
We walked the whole strip. and she's like halfway, and she's been on it consistent.
But
I
that's
mean,
all sugar, coach.
yeah, but I always tell them to put in an extra shot of tequila, so I put like an extra shot or sometimes two.
Yeah.
But believe me, when she finishes, I mean, termina con los ojos cruzados.
Oh,
But the thing is this, I mean, you think you're gonna finish it, but that little bolita like that,
that's a lot.
that bottle you got right there. Believe me, when you showed it to me when we started, I told you it's a lot. Look, you still got maybe like 3 or 4 more shots on that bottle.
I got 3 more. We'll do it tomorrow morning. Joe Ash says, "Yeah, hey, you think I'm drunk?" Joe Ash says, "On a morre." I'm like, what the hell is that? Then he writes back, "1 more." He can't even type. See, we got our viewers drunk.
That's Italian because he heard
Anemore.
you were in Paris, so he's typing in
Anemore. We're right there. We're at the Trevi Fountain hanging out. There you go. All kinds of good stuff. Cesar Campos, great show, you guys. You made this pandemic easier for us. Look, it's not going anywhere. We're keep on doing the show. All right. As we continue with the show, Coach, let's talk about this. Next time Roberto's not available and Rob's not available, should we expand it and bring in like another trainer?
Let's give Toño an opportunity.
No!
Let's give Toño an opportunity.
The reason I asked that because I knew you were going to say that. That's why I wanted to say.
I'm telling you.
Because,
Hey, let's bring.
Coach, right now there's like
But you know what?
everybody's typing right now. Bring in Toño.
Let's bring Toño in the show because I know that as a big of a clown he is, he's gonna be like Razo, like this. Watch. I'm telling you, I know him. I know. But the thing is this: after Antonio has a couple shots or a couple beers, and then he'll flow.
He's gonna flow.
Yeah, he's gonna flow.
Okay, so you need to take Toño El Capitan at 4:00, have him warm up pre-game, and then show up at 7.
Oh, that's for sure. I gotta get him a little buzz before we start the show because if he's not, he's gonna stutter a lot. when he's drunk, he flows. He speaks very well. He could be a broadcaster when he's drunk.
Ya llegaron las nieves de enero.
When he's not drunk, we're having a problem. But
Coach,
other than that, he'll be fine.
Coach, will Toño be able to figure out the program to log in?
Oh yeah, he's good at that. Antonio is really good with gadgets. Believe me, Antonio buys a phone and you'll spend all night trying to figure. He'll tell you what's in the phone, what you can do, what you can't do. Antonio's good with gadgets. I'm telling you.
Oh my God! And there's like a whole support system for Toño. Bring Toño in.
Look, if you buy a stereo, you go to the swap meet and you buy a stereo, call Antonio. He'll install it for you in the car.
Marco Jorela, Toño, right here.
I'm telling you, if you have problems with your computer, with your phone, if you need to install a stereo in your car, call Toño.
Fino Boxing, Toño Lives Matter. Chinga su.
Toño Lives Matter.
Tuto Brenes, Toño Vision. Oh, que la chin. Toño El IT. Palabra. Toño has a fan club.
I'm telling you.
When Toño comes in, it's going to be payback. Letty says that. No.
My mom don't like him, but people do.
Oh, Sulem, we want a special episode with Toño. Sulem, come on.
Actually, Sulem is a real good friend with Toño, and obviously he's gonna
Yeah. So Sulem, fuera. Toño for president 2020.
I don't know how many amateur fights Toño worked with Sulem. So I mean, they got. I mean, it's an amateur
Oh
relationship.
my God. The Green Eyed Bandit. No le tires a Toño por algo va a servir. I don't even know what that means. Somebody translate for me. But I'm reading it.
No. Actually, cuando Toño, when he was born, tiraron a la basura, yo lo saqué y le dije a mi mamá, para algo va a servir. And up to the day, no sabemos para qué, pero eventually one day he will.
Oh my God.
Then what? The Green Eyed Bandit.
Okay, Toño for president. Fat Boy says, ask Joel about the story of Toño in the corner. What does that mean?
Toño in the corner? Well, we talked about it.
Which time? There's all kinds of times.
No. That was only one time. I mean, he's worked a lot of corners, but the time Antonio helped me with Tim Bradley in Biloxi, Mississippi, when Tim.
Wait, hold on. Stop. Damn, I'm drunk right now. Coach.
You can finish the bottle.
I'm trying to. Coach, you have 2, as you would say, indios from Michoacan in Biloxi, Mississippi?
Yeah.
You don't belong there.
I know we don't belong in a lot of places, but we're still there.
No, but Biloxi, Mississippi, it was a casino, right?
Yes.
Fuck
That's the first time I saw dolphins live. Because you go to the balcony at the back of the casino and you see the ocean, and I saw dolphins, and like, damn, I thought dolphins were like unicorns. I thought they were fake. You're drunk.
Yeah, no, but I just heard you say you saw dolphins in Mississippi, so
I'm telling you. Well, actually, you know what? Actually, when we went to Biloxi, Mississippi, that was a little bit.
Who was fighting? Who was fighting?
Tim Bradley and Edna Cherry.
Okay.
Tim Bradley fought Edna Cherry, and it was after the Katrina.
Oh shit!
Because there was no flights from Mississippi, so we had to drive from Mississippi to another airport. We drove and we went through the main desmadre where all the houses were flooded and everything. Fuck. I mean, we actually experienced. We had an experience of a lot of bad areas.
Yeah, that was in 2008 at the Beau Rivage Resort and Casino in Biloxi. Don King Promotions on Showtime.
Yes, I mean, I remember we didn't fly out of Mississippi because it was bad due to the tornado.
Yeah. And
we drove from Mississippi to somewhere else, to another airport in another city, and we drove through the main damage that Katrina left behind.
Oh,
it was bad.
Yeah, that was bad. God damn, these people messing you up, man. They want to know, and you had.
Let me tell you a quick story about Toño. You're gonna.
Hey, go ahead, Coach. Hold on, Coach.
When we were in Mississippi,
you're gonna take a quick story.
Yes, vámonos here. It's quick. We got Antonio mad because Antonio names his son. Antonio names his son Luis Antonio, right? So then his son one day he comes to him and tells him, hey Dad, when I grow up, can I change my name?
No!
Yeah, so Antonio felt bad, like my son don't like my name, right? So, and he goes, what do you want to be named? He goes, I want to be named Gary.
Gary!
Yeah. So, and then we started picking Antonio. I go, Antonio, why does he want to be named Gary? Does somebody come to your house when you're not around or what? Some guy named Gary? No. So we were in Mississippi. We're giving Antonio a hard time. And we went to the souvenir store and we got one of those keychains with the name Gary and we hooked it up on his backpack. Because his son wanted to change his name to Gary. But the thing is that his son used to watch SpongeBob. You know the snail? The snail's name is Gary. But we gave Antonio a hard time. Antonio, why does your son want to be named Gary? And that's where everything started with Antonio.
Antonio, our researcher, is saying that it was supposed to be a main event of Joan Guzman and Nate Campbell, but Joan didn't make the weight, so Bradley was the main event. Oh my God. Yeah. The Beau Rivage in Biloxi, Mississippi. There's a movie with Matthew Broderick that none of you people watch called Biloxi Blues. Go and check it out. Mississippi. My goal is to eventually visit every single state in the United States. I don't need to go to Mississippi. I'm going to go drive through it, get in and out, and done. There's no need for that. Bob Esponja. Tomorrow morning, I'm playing golf with your son. What do you want me to tell your son?
I doubt it.
Hey, soy campeón, bro. At 6
Tell me how much more tequila you have. I'll tell you if you're going to go or not. Dude, you still got like 3 more shots on that one.
At 6 o'clock, I'm going to go run my 3 miles. I'm going to do my road work. Porque you know why, Coach? I don't have fucking insomnia.
Oh, you have insomnia?
No, I'm going to go puro Mimi's Deluxe. I'm going to upload the podcast. Dude, Coach, you've been on here for 2 hours and 6 minutes. All right, here we go. For the people who aren't here, last questions. Here we go. If you have a question, go for it. If you're not, then we're going to go. Next Thursday, I don't know if we're going to have a show. Because I might be gone. So I don't know if we're going to have a show. We've only missed one show during the pandemic, and that was the week after George Floyd was killed, and we just figured out of respect not to do that show. But after that, we've done 6. Today is 17 shows. So thanks everybody else. As always, thanks to Curtis Gold, our lawyer, our good friend Curtis will take care of you. Everybody wants to look. First of all you fucking Buddha weedies that think that I'm not gonna show up for golf tomorrow? Calmado, bro.
You're not going golfing.
Why not?
You still got 2 more shots or 3 more shots on that ball.
Coach, I wake up at 5:00. I have my cafecito, no problem.
I but not tomorrow.
I get yelled at by my mom. Right, she has no idea what's going on. Daniel Cho, you two the much of the love, respect to both of you. Fat Boy, another funny night. Zulem, Zulem. Good night. ¿Dónde va Zulem? Calmada, where are you going? Right here, Coach. Prediction for. Jesus, I don't even know how to say his name. Fucking Fino golf. Fucking Fino wants me to speak Russian. Prediction for Batyr Akhmedov.
Batyr Akhmedov?
Yeah, prediction for him.
Well, I mean, he should win the fight. I mean, this.
Wait, hold on, coach. Replay. When's he fighting?
Fighting Sunday. Batyr Akhmedov is fighting Sunday. He's fighting Ray Perez.
Wait, the
Ray
Filipino
Perez.
guy?
Yeah.
That's a tough dude.
He's a tough dude, but Akhmedov, based on his experience and his ranking, it should be a tough fight because Ray Perez is a tough fighter. He's a veteran fighter, but I think Akhmedov should beat him. Should beat him. I mean, not easily, but he should beat him.
And that's a fight that's on Fox on Sunday.
Fox on Sunday.
Hey, coach, let me ask you this. Because I was looking at the box rec, and Ray Perez fought Chimpa Gonzalez twice.
Mm-hmm.
When you have a fighter who's fought somebody that you've gone up against, does that matter to you, or do you just don't even worry about it?
Well, it does. It does because I'm gonna tell you one thing. I've had a few fights. And I know that I'm gonna have some fights in the future. But yo soy bien rencoroso, you know.
Well, hold on. Coach. I've had fucking 8 shots and it's 10 o'clock. Translate that.
Yo soy bien rencoroso. Like if somebody does it for me, I feel like if I meet you in the future, you're gonna pay back. I mean, I know I was training Chimpa for Ray Perez.
Yeah.
And I mean, Chimpa was doing good. I mean, he obviously got caught in the end for making stupid mistakes.
The first time, yeah.
No, that was the second time. The second time. I trained Chimpa for the second time with Ray Perez.
Oh, you did? Oh, yeah. It's in Hollywood, right?
Yeah. So, no, it was in Indio.
When you threw in the towel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now it's like, okay, I'm gonna meet this guy, and I mean, now I'm gonna get you back. That's how I feel.
Really?
It's like when Robert Guerrero beat Vicente Escobedo, and I didn't like that. We're in New Jersey, and Robert Guerrero beat Vicente Escobedo. I'm like, okay, hopefully in the future I'll meet you again.
No way.
But next time I'm gonna get back at you, and it did. It happened with Omar Figueroa. Omar Figueroa almost killed Robert Guerrero, and I go, okay, I knew you were gonna pay back. There's been a couple fights. There's been a few fights of fighters that I lose to, and then later in the future I get back at them, and that's just the way I am. I know that.
Okay, hold on real quick, Coach. But does that matter? The fact that you have a fighter, but each fighter is different, no?
Each fighter is different, but at the same time, I mean, it's I don't know.
It's personal.
It's personal and pride.
Pride. I got you.
I've always said it.
Because he beat your guy.
I mean, as a trainer, low key, el que me la hace me la paga. El que me la hace, sooner or later me la paga. I always said that, and I do it in the future, and you'll see. Remember what I'm telling you right now, and maybe 1 year, 2 years, I'm gonna touch the subject. I'm gonna tell you, Beto, remember what I told you? El que me la hace, me la paga.
Hold on. Later. Green Eye Bandit, make a shirt. El que me la hace, me la paga.
Paga. That's the way it's been. For example, there's a couple fighters out there that have beat my fighters, decision or whatever, and the outcome is not what I expected.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that in the future, I got somebody in my camp that we're gonna meet down the road that you're gonna pay me.
Really? I didn't know that trainers get personal like that.
I do. I don't know about others. I don't know about others, and I don't care about others. I'm like that. Because me la hace, sooner or later me la paga.
Pero coach, each fighter's different though, right? Like a chimpa is different from the guy who's fighting Sunday.
Yeah, but the outcome makes no difference.
Because you want to beat him.
Yeah.
Okay, coach. Fino Boxing says, what happened between him and Figueroa? Why the separation?
Who and who? Me and Figueroa? No, me and Figueroa, there's no separation. I still talk to him. We're really good friends.
Omar Figueroa.
Omar Figueroa is he's a fighter that, he has issues, and either personal or whatnot. Great kid. I like him. He became part of my family, and when he was with me, I did as much as I could for him. He has a lot of respect for me. I have a lot of respect for him and his family. But sometimes it gets to a point where, come on, you gotta put 100% in the sport, or else don't waste my time. When he fought John Molina, I was a little upset at him because he didn't make weight, and he has problems with his discipline. And I told him, if you don't, he made me stress a few times not making weight because he thinks he knows it all.
Oh, and coach, here it is. Fino says you wanted the corner for Figueroa against Ugas.
Yeah, because he wanted me to go train him. He wanted me to go train him in Texas. And before that fight, he fought John Molina, and training for John Molina, he didn't make weight. And to me, it's embarrassing because if the fighter doesn't make weight, a lot of people don't know what happens behind the scenes, And at the end of the day, if the fighter doesn't make weight, everything falls on the coach. And
shit!
Respect to all the coaches. Sometimes the coaches are putting in their work and they're doing their job, but the fighters don't cooperate. But based on the situation, at the end of the day, it's like, hey, you're the coach. Your fighter didn't make weight. It's your fault, and I take it. Whatever.
Shit.
He didn't make weight for John Molina, training with me in Indio. So when he started training for Ugas, he called me and he told me, Coach, I'm having issues at home. I have issues here with my family. I want to be with my kids. I want to be here. Can you come to Texas and train me? I said, no. Why? Because if you're in Indio, away from home, and you don't make weight, imagine when you're in your comfort zone. No, so I said, no. I went to his fight. When he fought Ugas, I went to his fight. He called my son to help him in the corner, and I was there. Oh
shit!
Yeah.
Okay, hold up. Okay, I'm about to get sober right now. Coach, he called your son.
Mm-hmm.
Your son's not a trainer. I love your son, Junior. He's a great kid. He helps you out. He does mitts. But he's not a trainer. But he was in there working it.
He's never held mitts.
But here's the thing is, he's better than some of the fucking trainers out there.
Oh, yeah.
And Coach, you're fucking pouring wine right now?
Yeah.
Chingas. As Beto Gomez says, mi tocayo, if you haven't...
My wife told me, I'm going to give you this bottle, take it, but don't finish it. Whatever's left, bring it back. And it's done.
¿Cómo que bring it back?
I'm in trouble. Look. Actually, look, Beto. Look.
La negra, Tomasa. No problem. As my friend Beto Gomez will say, if you haven't subscribed, like and hit the bells for notifications. Pablo Hernandez says, Beto, you're drunk. I was until you started telling that story. Coach, so I remember watching that fight, and I see your son Junior, who is a smart boxing kid. He's not a trainer, but he's fucking smart. I'd rather have him in my corner than anybody else. How do you let your kid go with a guy who did you like that?
Well, he didn't do me wrong.
And,
No,
and based on that, cheers. And Razzle, fuck you. I'm gonna kick your ass tomorrow.
cheers. No. Omar didn't do me wrong in any way. He did everything proper. He called me and he told me, Coach, would you come and train me in Texas? I said, no. I said, Omar, if you didn't make weight on your last fight when you were with me in India, and what makes you think that I'm gonna go to Texas and train you over there when you're at home with your family, surrounded by your kids? It's hard. So, okay, I'm gonna train here. Okay, well, good luck. And he started training. He did his training back in Texas. So he called my son. My son helped him in the corner, and obviously he lost to Ugas, Jordanis Ugas. I was at the fight. My wife and I went.
Wait, you were there?
I was there. And
holy
and
fuck, Coach!
It was frustrating. It was frustrating watching Omar, a kid with such potential, with so much power in his hands, getting dominated by Ugas. And the thing is that he didn't have a proper camp. He was sparring amateur kids. He didn't get the proper training. And my son was nervous in the corner. And the thing is this, I'll never forget because I'm sitting not ringside, but a couple rows behind. And Luis de Cuba Jr.,
Yeah.
that's the manager of Ugas, right?
Yeah, he tweets for him.
And he's walking down the aisle, and he sees me sitting down, and he tells me, "Oh man, you don't know how happy I am to watch you sitting here instead of in the corner." I said, "Why?"
What?
He goes, "Because if you were in the corner, we had problems."
What?
You know, he basically told me, "If you're not in the corner, we're good. If you're in the corner, we have problems."
What?
Well, that to me that was a compliment. That was a compliment. But
how's that a compliment?
Because he basically told me that if I was in that corner with Omar, the things would be different.
Oh.
But I'm not. So they're good. But I know that eventually, down the road, I'm facing Lucas again. Y como te lo dije, el que me la hace, me la paga.
And next time...
But you know what? But not only that. Remember, Ugas fought Tomás Dulorme. Tomás Dulorme beat him, and they gave Ugas the fight. So, I mean, Ugas is a fighter that is in the mix for some of my Uzbekistan, Dagestan fighters, Uzbeks, Dagestan, Russian fighters, that eventually I'm gonna meet them down the road because of the rankings, and I'm gonna meet them. And when I meet them again, things are gonna be a little different.
Wow. Beto Gomez says, "I'm going. You want some Cuban rum?" Yes. And while you're at it, Beto Gomez, el tocayo, bring back some Cuban cigars, bring back some Cuban rum, bring back some tequila. ¿Y sabes qué? Hasta unos pinches chiclets while you're at it. I have this much of tequila.
You still got 2 shots.
Fuck nah, Coach.
That's all.
Because I want to beat up Razo tomorrow. We're only playing 9 holes tomorrow. Coach, real quick. Why is it, now we're in a different world, forget you guys' questions. When you lose to somebody, even though it's the fighter loses, why does the trainer take it so personal?
Because it's your job. It's your work. Honestly, and I'm going to tell you, a lot of people don't know, but I put in so much work with my fighters. I put in so much work. I dedicate so much time. I give myself with passion to the sport every day in the gym. And when I approach a fight and my fighter loses, it takes me 2 days to recover from the loss, me mentally.
No way.
I'm not comfortable. Yeah, it takes me about 2 to 3 days that I feel like anxiety. I feel like people are looking at me. I feel like I'm not comfortable. Yeah, it takes me 2 to 3 days where I'm angry. It's bad. I mean, and my family knows, and they understand because when I come home, I'm grouchy, and it takes a toll on me. Because
Coach, okay, you know what?
I hate losing.
Here it is. Thomas Delorme, you told us a month ago, or whatever it was, $10,000 you bet on him.
I would have lost it.
Hey, I bet, not 10,000, but I bet on him. Yeah. He lost.
Yeah.
How did you feel afterwards?
After the fight.
Because he didn't perform the way you should have.
Oh man, it was crazy. It was bad. You know, I mean, if you think that was bad, you should have seen me in Malaysia when Lucas Matisse lost to Pacquiao.
Chingasu.
Over there in Malaysia, the fight was at 1 p.m. And I remember, and I'll never forget, I trained Lucas Matisse to knock out Manny Pacquiao. And going into the fight,
What?
Lucas Matisse had everything to knock out Pacquiao. He hurt him in the fourth round. And when he hurt him, I told him, hey, he's hurt. Go get him.
You did. You
Yeah.
did.
And instead of attacking him, he started going back. And then after that, he got dropped. And he looks to my corner and looks at his brother-in-law. And I'm like, and then he got up. And from there on, I got demoralized. I feel like what the hell is going on here, you know?
No.
And honestly, well, okay, we walked away with a loss. After the fight, we go to the hotel. I didn't want to be around nobody. I didn't want to talk to nobody. And I swear to you, Beto, everybody was on their own. I went to the pool. I got back to my hotel. I went to the pool. I don't go to pools. I was by the pool. I laid on one of the pool chairs, and I was right there just thinking, what happened tonight? What happened today? We could have won this fight. I mean, what happened? I'm trying to analyze. I was so mad. I was mad. I didn't want to talk to nobody.
No way.
I had so much anger in myself because, I mean, I wanted to. It's like when you're a Marine in Army or whatever, and you get promoted and you get a medal, right? I wanted to come home and say, man, I beat Manny Pacquiao, with Lucas Matisse.
Yeah.
And since we didn't, I was like, I was dethroned. I was like in the trash. And honestly, all the flight back, we flew from Malaysia to China, LA.
Fucking 2-day trip.
Yeah, and actually, I had a vacation plan to go to Cabo San Lucas with my family. I executed that plan because I remember it was only like a 30-minute difference because when I flew from Malaysia to China to LA, I drove from LA to my house, and I told my wife, have everything ready because we have to drive to San Diego. I got home like around 1:30. Hey, I pulled up in the driveway.
Coach, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Your son Junior, who's watching, says he kicked me in the chest. That's how mad he was.
No, I'm telling you. I mean, I don't remember kicking my son in the chest. I drove from LA. I drove from LA to Indio, and I was in the driveway. And I called my wife. Let's go. You got 15 minutes. I remember I got off the truck. I went into my room, and got
wow.
I dropped off my clothes that I took to Malaysia, and my wife had a suitcase with the other clothes. I just swapped some things, got a new deodorant, a toothbrush, and whatever, and drove to San Diego to catch a flight to Cabo San Lucas.
Wow.
And I remember I wasn't even sleepy. I traveled from Malaysia to San Diego to Cabo San Lucas 2 days, no sleep, because I was mad because I lost when I put in so much work to beat Manny Pacquiao.
Man,
I mean, I take it deep in here. When I lose a fight, I take it really deep in here. It takes me 2 days to recover.
You know what? I'm not going to say nothing because we've had this personal conversation on the side about Lucas and what happened, so I'm going to be quiet.
El que me la hace, me la paga, Beto. You have another shot?
Nah, because I'm going to kick your kid's ass tomorrow.
No, just don't kick him on the chest.
Fucking Charlie Murphy.
Just don't kick him on the chest.
Nah, tomorrow, these fucking pinche fucking whatever. They only want to play 9 holes tomorrow. We'll play 9.
I think Razo's going to win tomorrow.
Fucking...
Gallo, send it.
You know what? Fuck it. Here. Just because the fucking people who are still watching, the 3 people who are still watching right now. Where's my shot glass?
3 people? And we're still here?
Hey, Coach, what are you going to do? You're in fucking quarantine. Where the fuck you going?
That's true.
Yeah.
I got nowhere to go.
Sauce.
You are right, man. I got nowhere to go.
Here's how much I got.
Kill it.
Salem, aplácate. I'm
Send it.
fucking 42, bro. I'm gonna fucking show up tomorrow.
Beto, send it.
No, there's no
You
fucking.
you got 2 shots right there, bro. I told you. It's the width of the bottle
Yeah.
that makes it seem. I told you, you got 2. You still got one more.
Hey, cuñado, take a picture of this.
I'm telling you, I know bottles. I've had bottles. And I told you from the beginning, that's a lot of tequila.
Coach, I haven't had fucking bottles, bro. Who the fuck drinks 3? You know what? I'm yelling.
3 liters
You know.
in 5 months.
Cuñado says drink from the bottle. First of all, I ain't that Mexican, bro.
Mando. Hey, Mando, if you're listening to me, Beto's not at that level yet.
¿Sabes qué?
Cheers.
Here. Fucking what?
Ahí está, ahí está. I want it. Ahí está. Cheers.
Oh! Oh, shit.
That was good.
No.
Look, Beto, what's going to happen is you're going to get another 3-liter bottle for another 5 months. Maybe you can clear it to January.
Fuck, man. Fuck. Hey, first of all you people think I'm not going to play golf tomorrow?
Mira, Beto, no, you're not going to play golf tomorrow. Look, if you were a real Mexican, a true Mexican, that bottle right there, una carne asada se va.
Coach, first of all, if you know anything about me, I ain't that Mexican, bro.
Oh, I can tell.
I'm Latino light.
Yeah, I know. You Latino light, you drink beer, you drink a couple glasses of wine, y andas pedo.
Oh, man. Tonight, it's puro show. Because normally, when it's 3 of us, you guys are drinking, I'll get my drink, and I'll pour it out to the side. Tonight?
Oh, really?
Tonight?
That's the chapulín.
Oh.
You know what we call those? Chapulines.
Yeah,
Why? Because it's called cheaters.
you know, I'm like Pepe Gomez. I have a cigarro, and I just hold it.
And never turns it on.
Never turn it on. All right. Okay. One last question. Anybody have one last question? If you do, you get it in right now. Chingas. Razo, fuck you. I'm showing up tomorrow right now because
Razo, he's not going.
Razo, as soon as I fucking upload the podcast, which if make sure you like, subscribe, and to the Living the Dream podcast on iTunes and Spotify. Bethel Duran, it'll be up there.
Send it, Razo.
Send it. 9 o'clock tomorrow. I'm gonna fucking kick all your fucking asses. Fuck you. Fuck you. You cool. Don't worry about it because I gotta fucking
Squirt. Hey, tequila con squirt, la azúcar. You're gonna wake up with a big old headache tomorrow morning.
Sulem, first of all, where are my eyes? Coach, I forgot to show you. Remember when Razo broke the fucking golf club?
Yes, sir.
What about right here? Here it is. Razo broke the fucking golf club. Sa. Fucking Ozo Motley. Right here you go.
Yakuza.
Ya tu sa. No, I ain't taking no fucking another shot, Tutu Brenes. We're fucking done with this shot.
Finish the bottle, Beto. Finish
No,
it.
cállese.
One more. You got one more shot.
No,
One more.
No, I'll
Beto,
put
one more.
Hey, tomorrow I'm gonna put this in my fucking coffee.
Hey, you got one more shot. Chingatela.
Yeah, you see. First of all, I didn't believe in peer pressure at 15. I'm not gonna believe in peer.
Beto, from the beginning you said you were gonna kill it. You got one more shot. I mean,
Coach.
¿Qué es una más?
Coach, I have no problem admitting. No.
Look, let's do it. Cheers.
That's wine.
Okay, pero no es pedo. I mean, if I had tequila, I would be drinking tequila.
Yeah.
My wife gave me a damn bottle.
Hey.
She told me, my wife, I'm already in trouble.
Ozo Mali, ya se fue. Ozo Mali, ya se fue.
My wife told me to drink half and bring the other half home.
No, hey, Coach, that bottle Miomi, that's a good bottle. That's $20 right there.
That's why I'm enjoying it.
Yeah,
Okay,
Miomi. All right.
Okay, finish your other shot.
No, fuck that.
Beto.
No.
Dude, this is one shot, dude.
Hey, Coach, go keep my car. See what happens. Because tomorrow I'm gonna beat Razo. Tomorrow, every hole, final the hole.
Razo, he's not gonna walk in with a club. He's gonna walk in with a bat.
Yeah, hey, Coach. Honestly, I have no idea who's playing tomorrow.
I'm telling you.
Look,
Cheers.
Salud, right here. No more shots. I'm done.
No more questions?
All right,
Close it up.
Hold on. Yeah, we're gonna close. Damn, fucking 2 hours. We're like fucking Joe Rogan. All right, hold on. Let me set my alarm. Instead of going to bed, I'm just gonna fucking fall asleep on my computer in the garage. Okay, hold up. Ya tu sa. Alarm.
Yeah.
Razo, what time are we playing tomorrow? No, 7:50. That's too late. I gotta go to L&B's. 7 o'clock alarm. Ya tu sa. Hey, the people listening on the podcast are like, what the fuck? Okay, I'm gonna go McDonald's. I'm gonna give it 2 Egg McMuffin meals. I'm gonna be like Toño. Yeah.
Hey, you say me something?
Yeah, like Toño.
Oh, yeah.
Ay!
10-minute difference?
10 minutes different. Like Razo. Razo, you would have sent it by now. Razo, you guys heard it here.
Yeah.
Razo, I'm gonna fuck your ass up tomorrow. I'm gonna fucking beat your ass so bad. I'm gonna pretend like I'm fucking Ernie.
I got money on Razo.
We'll play Razo. $5 hole tomorrow. You ain't fucking ready. Send it, fucker.
$5. Hey.
Salema. Wait, that's Salema. Salem, go to sleep.
Hey, Beto. Remember, when you upload this video, don't delete none of this stuff because you say
No,
$5 a hole.
hey, coach, it all goes up right away. So the YouTube, sube it, sas. Alan Zamora, wait, Joe Ash, Alan Zamora, Leti Arreola. Everybody thinks I'm fucking loaded. I ain't loaded. I'm fucking
Alan,
drunk.
Alan, this weekend, let's go for those quesadilla tacos, man.
All right,
I'm tired of this hospital food here.
hospital food. That's water. That's bad for you.
Have the other shot, Beto.
Right.
Come on. Be a team player. Go.
Okay, you one more shot?
Chingatelo, yeah. The
¿Sabes
last
qué?
shot.
Because you know why? Al Heyman said, fuck it, one more shot.
Just finish it, dude. It's the last shot. I'm telling you.
No.
I love tequila. You got the perfect one shot there.
Coach,
Pour it.
ya llegaron los nieves de enero.
Wait, son dos shots. Okay, take that from the bottle. Finish that with. Hey, just chuck it from the bottle and then drink that shot.
No!
It's like a less than a shot.
Don't
Look.
you do that?
Let me tell you something. Es pecado dejar el asiento de la botella when you got that much left. Chingatelo.
Speak English.
Well, okay, let me translate it. It's a sin leaving that much tequila in the bottle when you got so much left. Just down it. Do it.
All right, translate that.
Okay, la chingada. ¿En Uzbek or what?
Yeah. Работай.
Работа.
Хорошо.
Хорошо, привет.
Привет, хорошо. As the Filipinos say, anako. So, Lem, I ain't fucking done, bro. You don't fucking know my life.
Look, Sulem, he's done.
Oh, fuck, I'm done. Fucking, you know what, coach?
What?
Ya llegaron las nieves de enero.
Ahora sí llegó Chalino Sánchez, vámonos. Chalino Sánchez is not going to play tomorrow.
Ah, fuck it, eh? Ah, fuck. How much is left?
Chalino, I mean, it's less
Oh!
Chalino, that's less than a shot. Chingatela.
Cuñado, can we do it?
Oh, yeah, you can.
Fucking A, man. I'm gonna post this. I'm gonna delete it. You know, I work for
Do
fucking.
it. You can do it.
Fuck.
Remember the Water Boy?
That's
The
the,
movie The Water Boy?
that's the Toño boy.
You can do it.
Fuck, coach. There's another shot.
No, it's not. Let me see. You pour it all?
Oh yeah. Hey, coach. Hey.
Ahora sí. Eres mi gallo.
No. Razo's your fucking gallo.
No, now you're my gallo.
No. Mira.
You're my gallo.
Mira. Ya tú sabes. First of all, Alan Zamora, I ain't doing no fucking reporting. I'm not fucking Ellie Setback. Okay, alright. One more question, because I gotta fucking slow up.
You're not going golfing tomorrow.
Oh, fuck yeah, I am. I'm gonna go out to. It's only 10:30, coach.
Okay, which is you're betting $5 a hole is 9 holes. Razo, you're making $40.
Fuck him! Fuck you! How dare you, coach? You're betting against me?
Well, you're drunk.
But tomorrow, remember, ¿qué es lo que te dije? I'm gonna go to Starbucks con pinche vieja ahí. You know what, coach? I'm gonna go piss outside.
No. Hey, to all the fans, to everybody watching, I am sorry for Beto, but I think he's done. I mean, I know he's celebrating our anniversary of the show, but I think he's done. If you guys want to go to sleep, go to sleep. I wasn't supposed to finish the bottle of wine, but he's done. Beto, hey Razo, if you're listening, ya mejor dile que te pague los $40 porque no va a ir a jugar mañana. Actually, I'm getting hungry. I got some food coming up to the room. Oh, I wait.
Ya tú sabes, ya tú sabes. Sa. Joel Diaz, you ain't fucking showing up. Fuck all you guys.
Is my son still watching?
Nah, he ain't doing nothing.
Is my son still watching?
Nah, he don't even know you.
I think he's gonna win the $40 tomorrow.
Hey, fat boy. Remember, Coach, I was drunk the first one 5 months ago. I'm gonna be drunk tonight.
Drunk again.
Hey, fat boy. Cheers.
Look, to all the people.
Woo! Hey, here, let me wash my hands.
To all the people watching, we want to thank you guys. Obviously, it's a show just to have fun. Beto made a great show, a great podcast, just to have fun. And you know, we're going through this pandemic, so we just like to just talk about boxing, talk about stories, and make things fun for everybody. I know that a lot of people are at home; they don't got much to do. But I'm in a bubble. Beto likes to talk about his golf and boxing and sports, and it's great. We're just happy to be here to give the boxing fans whatever you guys want to hear. We're here to just talk. Just talk and be friends, and in the personal level, sports, stories, whatever it is. And we appreciate everybody that is always tuning in to our podcast. Beto started this. Beto is always putting a lot of work, and I'm glad that he's generating more fans and more views every day. He's a happy guy. He's a great guy. I mean, I like him. He's a great person, and I'm happy for him. Como dice mi primo, hablaste bien bonito.
Bien, pinche fucking pipidis fucking nice, bro. Fuck, you know what? All you people, you ain't ready because Coach Sass!
It was about time.
Ya nomás. First of all,
hey,
take your fucking picture.
Hey,
take your fucking picture.
Hey, tell Letty that it's over.
Take your fucking picture. I'm waiting for everybody. Yeah. I'm waiting for everybody to fucking take a post right here. Go ahead. ¿Sabes qué? Ya tú sabes. Oh!
Ahí te va.
Sa. Fuck, man, this is gonna be good. Make sure you guys rate and review on the iTunes, Spotify. I got my Charros hat from Guadalajara. Ready to go. Let the Ariola appreciate your support. And look, I might be fucking loaded, but at the end of the day, and I say this sincerely, Coach, thank you so much for presenting every Thursday. Because every single Thursday we have a show, and it's fucking fun. You text me about what, 5 o'clock? I'm like, hey Gallo, I'm gonna a show? Hell yeah. We're gonna do it. And Coach, we've been in Indio, we've been in Coachella, we've been in Corona, we've been in Oklahoma,
Ontario.
Everywhere. This pandemic is fucking real, and it sucks. But at the end of the day, we do the show for you, the fans. Look, there might be 10 people watching right now. Yeah. As long as there's fucking 10 people, I don't care because we are providing entertainment for you. It's a lot of fun. It doesn't matter. Coach, we might have 100 people today, but next week we'll have 1,000. I don't care about those people later on, but if we can go and provide a chance for somebody to forget about their life, about their wife, about all that other stuff, and we can provide them entertainment for 2-3 hours. Look, Coach, for you, you're in the bubble right now. You forgot all about it. It sucks.
And you know what, Beto? One more thing is this: a lot of people that like the show, they're always keeping up, and we know they have a responsibility tomorrow. They'll tune in tomorrow to watch it. You know, obviously they have to go to sleep early because they have commitments. They have things to do tomorrow. But tomorrow, as soon as they have a chance, they'll tune in and watch it, and that's great.
Coach, as I was telling you, my friend Brother Goldman says, hey, like, subscribe, review, all that other stuff. I get offered a chance. I didn't even tell you this, Roberto. So somebody came up to me and was like, hey, can you do this on Monday afternoons? I'm like, fuck no, I'm not going to get drunk on fucking Monday afternoon. And they were like, oh, but you know what? We can do this, we can do that. I'm like, you know, at the end of the day, Thursday night, we have an audience, we have we have good people.
Yeah.
We have genuine people. You saw the coaches that came through here, the questions that came through tonight. And it was they're great questions. They were sincere. They were good.
Yeah.
And it was like, damn, you know what? Coach, honestly, I can go and do this. Fuck, I'm drunk right now. Hold on. No, I'm going to stay, motherfucker. I could be like George Lopez and be a fucking sellout and go fucking and sell this show and make a bunch of money. But I'd rather be fucking genuine to our Chicano golf guys, our fucking Razo, our to fucking Alan Zamora, all these other people. Because at the end of the day, we're here for them. It's all that matters. Because if we can have a distraction from the bullshit coronavirus, and Razo, respect to you, what you've gone through the last couple of days.
Razo, pinche gallo.
Yeah. Hey, Coach, right now, manda un mensaje a Razo. Because he needs it right now.
Razo, all I can tell you is this, man. Se te aprecia, se te quiere un chingo. We know what you're going through, and we got your back. Ya sabes que we're there for you 100%. Anytime, any day, any place.
Yeah.
Se te aprecia, se te quiere. Eres un gran ser humano, eres un gran amigo. Y aquí estamos, ya sabes que somos tus amigos, tus fieles soldados. Listos y presentes hasta la muerte, sabes.
Yeah. As Alan Zamora says, keep it underground, much love. But you know, Alan, I agree with you. I'd rather do this show sincerely for 3 people instead of 3 million. Because at the end of the day, ThursDIAZ is about for the people. So Roberto Diaz, who's on a fucking plane right now. Joel Diaz, who's in a fucking boat. Beto Duran, who's in a fucking...
drunk right now.
¡Ey! ¡Pero se acabó, mijo! ¡Se acabó! Letty, tell Jesse fuckers. Oh shit, wait, you know más? Mi homie.
Se acabó.
Hey, Coach, mi homie's fucking nice, bro.
Oh, hey, I'm telling you, my wife told me here. Ahí te va.
Coach,
take it.
I'm gonna I feel like asshole. What's your wife's name?
Linda.
Linda has great taste, because that Miomi bottle right there.
I think she was hiding under the bed, because when she came out, she goes, here, take it, because I know you're gonna do your show. Okay. But she told me, she goes, make sure that you don't drink it all. Bring whatever's left. Para tomármelo. Look.
Coach, that Miomi, you know what? Para la próxima, me and Linda. So thanks everybody who watched it. Appreciate it, you guys. I got drunk 3 hours ago, but fuck it. The podcast will be up. Thanks everybody. So for Joel Diaz, Roberto Diaz, Razo, thanks so much for listening to ThursDIAZ. I know I'm drunk, but fuck you guys. Next week, ¡Sas! 5 fucking months. Ya tú sabes.
Have a good night, Beto.
Buenas noches, bro.
And good luck tomorrow.